Everybody, welcome to another live episode of the Outlaw Nation Show here on the Outlaw Nation channel. I am the Outlaw John Rocha, and I thank you all so much for joining me tonight. I hope you brought your seatbelts because y'all better strap in for this ride. This is going to be a roller coaster. We're going to hang upside down. We're going to get whipped left to right. I don't know who's going to survive the ride. That's how crazy it's going to be. But we got to accept that we're going to lose some of our loved ones on this ride. That's for sure, because we're going to get some craziness going on tonight. It's going to be so much fun, and I'm looking forward to it. I don't know what's going to happen, but hanging on to a ride where you've got Kaiser and Smets driving the roller coaster, I don't know where we're going to end up and what's going to happen, but I'm excited to do it. You know, it's been a bit of a rough week over the last few days. I mean, I've had a great birthday weekend for sure, but the week kind of started out, I think I was feeling that seasonal depression, that seasonal malaise that people feel right around this time. I'm feeling it myself. So for the first time ever, I've been kind of like, well, what do I do? How do I get out of it? What do I need to do to get out of it? So that's the work I'm doing over the last couple of days, kind of figuring out what I need to do. Plus, we had stuff we had to take care of here at the house. So this morning, we couldn't do mornings with the Outlaw. Alex had other stuff going on for herself as well. So it just kind of made sense for us to kind of delay that one until Thursday and go from there. So sorry we weren't there to give you a little fun morning conversation about some of the big news that are happening in the world of entertainment. Hey, but don't forget, tomorrow we've got the Geek Buddies going on. The Geek Buddies, they'll be covering all the stuff that we probably would have covered today on Mornings with the Outlaw. We'll be covering that Moon Knight story, probably talk a little bit more about the Assassin's Creed stuff, Uncharted stuff. But we don't see that there's any big topic going on, so we're asking for you all to send in some questions for us to do a bit of a Q&A segment at the end of the show. So if you follow us, follow me or Michael Vogel or Shannon McClung on Twitter, send in your tweets, your questions, put hashtag the Geek Buddies, and we'll pick out the best ones and put them together, and we'll answer them on the show. Or you can email us at thegeekbuddies@gmail.com, thegeekbuddies@gmail.com, and we'll answer them on the show. So please send in your questions. We'd rather have more to choose from than less, so we have ourselves a good time on the show. All right, we got so many people joining us already. Yakovetta's up in this thing. Wow. Yakovetta already. Alan Smithy rolling up in here. Kevin Merton, Chris Taylor. So many people already putting that hashtag Smash Cancer on here. And that's right. You know why? Because we're going to have Kevin Smets coming into the show a little bit later on to tell us about how he's doing, update us about how his treatment is going, and most of all, just checking in with my friend. He is my friend. He is my brother. That's not any kind of bullshit. That's my brother, and that's my friend. And so when we talked on the phone, when he texted me first to tell me about what happened, and then when we talked later, just kind of heartbroken to hear about what he's going through. But I know that man has a heart of steel, and he's got a spine of steel as well. They don't call him the Smasher for nothing. And yes, I used to call him the Smusher, but that was all in jest. He is the Smasher. He will handle his business in this situation, and he's got the entire Schmoedown community behind him for sure. So many people already doing these live streams to donate to Kevin Smets' foundation, or to his GoFundMe rather. There is a GoFundMe for Kevin. We'll talk about that in a little bit when he comes on the show a little bit later on this program tonight. But first up, and this is a gentleman that I'm excited to welcome to the show. We have had some phenomenal conversations. We kind of butted heads a little bit at the beginning because he was doing his thing, I was doing my thing. He ignored me on an airplane. We were headed to a live event, and then eventually we got together, sitting down, waiting to leave that live event. I think it was Atlanta, waiting to leave that live event. We had a fantastic hour-and-a-half discussion before we had to get on the plane. He ignored me again on the plane. I respect that. He wanted to be cool. He's got a reputation to uphold. But I had a great time talking with him, getting to know him. And every time we've hung out or we've had great conversations, he's an East Coast boy. So I can naturally, just like Harloff, I naturally connect to the East Coast boy because those guys are always telling you the truth about how they feel about a situation. And they're no holds barred and unfiltered. And I respect that. I can't say city. I don't live in Los Angeles anymore. But on this coast where sometimes plasticity is king, it's always nice to be around the real ones when you're having conversations about life or about movies or about the world of politics, whatever, the world of sports. So I'm excited to welcome this gentleman to the program. You all know him as the manager of the dungeon. You all know him as a man who guided Kevin Smets to a title, Paul Oyama to a title. He almost guided these tag team he guided his tag team rather to a first round matchup here coming up. It's going to be exciting to see what he does in this tag team tournament. He almost guided one of his players to the singles title for sure. He was there in play, but he's got things he's got going on. Plus, he's got a young Robert Parker in his stable kicking some butt. So I'm excited to welcome him to the show. He's the son of a former Major League Baseball umpire. So there's going to be some stuff we're going to talk about that as well. And he's also got some crazy Hollywood stories. He's got the Gucciverse rolling in with Tom with Finstock over there doing his thing. So it's all kinds of stuff happening here. So I can't wait to get him onto the show and have some fun with him and talk about everything that's going on in his world and in our world and in the Schmoedown as well. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please welcome to the Outlaw Nation channel and the Outlaw Nation show, my man, my brother himself, John Kaiser. Kaiser, how are you, brother?
Well, what it is.
What is it?
First of all, I got to ask you, your opening music.
Yeah.
Did you get Maurice Leone to do that for you, like the son of Sergio, or who? That was pretty spot on.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah. I reached out to a friend of mine, and he found some tunes. Did that video for me.
Where? At a saloon? At a saloon in 1885? Is that where he found those tunes?
Yes.
Okay.
He was there and he had it. How are you, man? What's going on with you, brother?
I'm doing good. I just want everybody out there to know I never ignored John. John, have you ever thought that maybe I had a couple beers the night before and maybe I was wearing my sunglasses and maybe it was a little foggy on the inside of the airport as well as the outside? I would never willingly ignore you, my man. But yes, then I did. You said I walked by you on the airplane and then I walked by you in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And that was it. But I made up for it. I hung out with you backstage before your match, so I got to be kind of part of the entourage that night.
It's crazy. It's been such a crazy time right now, Kaiser. I think you just finished a job yourself. You're one of the lucky ones to be able to work through this pandemic. You and Smets, and I think Rachel as well, just be the editors there. You were in charge of it. You've worked in reality TV, all this. Has this been, and I don't mean just the pandemic itself, but the results of the pandemic, this must have been one of the most unusual years in your entire life for so many reasons.
Man, you don't know. I mean, we work in production. I've worked on a handful of television shows. I've produced, indie films, which is where most of the insanity normally happens.
Right.
But a production bubble is a real struggle. And it's not that hard. It is being like, I felt like I was in a social experiment.
Right.
Basically the way it worked, it was, well, first of all, I think, I was doing Love Island for CBS.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the way it worked is we stayed at a hotel. You couldn't leave your room. You got a pool. You could go to the pool for an hour. You could go to the gym for an hour. Then they extended pool hours. And that wasn't even every day. I would literally go from a hotel room down the employee elevator through the tunnel of this hotel casino, which felt like Ocean's 11. Like I felt like I was robbing the joint every time I was running through there. Jump into a shuttle, takes me to the other hotel. The rooftop of the hotel is the villa where the cast for Love Island is living. They basically converted a outdoor pool club in Vegas into a straight up villa. And they lived like, Lord of the Rings with champagne and funky bathing suits. You know what I mean? Like, or Lord of the Flies. Sorry, I was getting my Lord's films confused. But anyways, so then I go into a control room, a dank, dark control room. I work for 12 or 13 hours. Yeah. I get back in the shuttle. I go back to the other hotel. I go through the bowels of the hotel, up the elevator, into my room, and that's it. Like there's no out. I live at the beach, man. I'm used to being outdoors, and it can fuck with your head a little bit. No joke, John. I felt like it was literally like a social experiment. But I have to say, at the beginning of this, you said the right thing. Like I'm lucky to be working, so I'm going to take whatever lump I got to do. Like I was working. I did a work from home job on the most recent NASA SpaceX launch.
Yeah,
not the one that's been delayed where they're setting up 4 astronauts, but I did. It was the first time we sent Americans in space from American rockets on American soil in something like 20 years. I don't remember the exact number. So I was working from home, and that seems like a really cool thing until you constantly are going from the bed to the home office to the bed, and like you're enclosed again. And so when I was told I'm going to go live in a bubble and get tested once a week, and it was still kind of in that period of mild uncertainty where we didn't probably know as much as we know now. And I'm like, you know what? Sometimes you got to take a leap. It was going to be the biggest show I ever had a chance to work on. It was CBS, it was prime time, and it was a challenge. So, John, I had to go for it. Like, I didn't want to stay home behind the home office, for another gig. I said, I'm not going to throw caution to the wind. I'm going to be careful about it.
Right.
But I trusted I trusted it was CBS, and I figured they'd have the right practices and standards in place. And brother, for no one to get sick in 2 months, I think was remarkable, because I figured someone was going down.
Right.
You know what I mean? But they pulled it off, and I am shocked. And we all got, again, tested every week. And, for the first 2 weeks, you really can't leave your room while you quarantine. It's like a knock at the door, like Old Boy, and they drop off a bag of food, and that's the end of it. You know what I mean? So that was crazy.
That's crazy. I mean, and you talk about the NBA, their bubble that they built. It sounds like these production companies that are successful understand the level of the bubble they have to create, probably even more so than reality TV, which is ironic because you don't really hear a lot of reality TV production shutting down because someone tested positive for COVID. It's more these union gigs. Not most reality TV isn't union from my experience, but it's more of these like more straight-laced union gigs. They've got people testing positive for COVID all over. Just reading about Stephen Amell, who's finally been cleared to go back to his Star series Heels because he tested positive.
Oh, wow.
We saw Robert Pattinson test positive, shut down the Batman right after they
Pattinson got tested positive. I forgot about that.
There are a number of people that have tested positive on these productions and have held stuff back. We're hearing Fox News now. A number of their anchors have tested positive, and their staffers are freaking out because election night is next week, and they're not sure who the hell's going to be on air. But with these reality,
why don't they have me and you do it? We could do election night. Outlaw and Kaiser, like, hey, the fucking votes are coming in. What do you think, John? What do you got?
It's not looking good. It's not looking good, Kaiser. It's not looking good.
We're keeping it open. We don't know.
Yeah, we're keeping it open. But no, it's just crazy. With reality TV, they don't have an opportunity to delay stuff. Like they don't have. It's such a tight ship. There's not a lot of window to be messing around. So for them, they've got to be even more stringent about this kind of thing and make sure people are on board because money is tight and it's at stake here way more than kind of these other production companies that have networks behind them with a little bit of money to spare. This is tight.
Yeah, it was. And it's like you get that cabin fever effect real quick. You know what I mean? It's like, to be told, like, okay, you have to leave the pool. Like, what do you mean I have to leave the pool? I'm able to sit out here for 5 hours if I want. Like, so, but again, it's like first world problems, right? Lucky to be working and hopefully, I got something else coming down the pipeline. But I'm shocked at how fairly consistent I've managed to work through the pandemic. Basically, I finished a show in March, started up NASA, was down a little bit, and then right into this Love Island thing. So I can't complain, brother. I can't complain. I mean, you just hope everyone is being smart because here I'm thinking we're in Vegas shooting this thing. Someone on the crew is leaving to go to a strip club and to roll dice till 4 or 5 in the morning, sneak back in, and he's gonna have the flamingo flu. You know what I mean? And so it was like. Anyway, but they did know, everyone was respectful and cautious and did the right thing. And I was blown away, man. I was pretty impressed by how we pulled it off. Most impressed I've been on anything I've worked on, I think. That's
awesome. That's awesome. And that's the way it's got to be if you're going to make these things happen. That's for sure.
Yes.
We're going to get into a lot of things here over the next 2 hours here on the show. I want to encourage you all to send in your Streamlabs and your Super Chats as we go along here. Right there, first Super Chat from Lewis Cox says, hey, John, can give me a birthday shout out. Thanks. Love your work. I don't know which John he's talking about, so we'll both
go first. You go first.
Happy birthday, Lewis Cox. Shout out to you. You're born around the right time. Kalinowski was yesterday. Mine was Friday. So much love to you. There are a couple other people who had birthdays. The Blurred Girl, who I'm a big fan of as well. She just had her birthday today. So a lot of really cool people had their birthday around this time. So Lewis Cox, you were born at the right time. Happy birthday to you, my man.
Lewis, I wish I could be as positive as my friend, Mr. Rocha, and I can't really wish you a happy birthday simply because you owe me money. And if you don't remember that time at the Finger Lakes racetrack, I gave you a pretty nice tip, and you were gone. You were nowhere to be found. I saw you run out the door with a pretzel in your mouth. So I guess happy birthday.
There you go. There you go. Shout out, Lewis. Thanks again. So proud of you, Kaiser from Camshaft. There you go. So proud of you.
Thank you, Cammy.
Pretty good stuff there. Sean Barreto's birthday is this Thursday. He had to throw that in. He loves to get his ego stroked, so I got to stroke him a little bit as a producer on my show. So, Sean Barreto, happy birthday to you on Thursday. I'm not sending you a gift. I don't have anything to sell you. I don't know what to sell you. It's a crazy time right now. But listen, you've been doing all this. Has this been basically your bread and butter since you came out here working on these reality shows, editing these realities? Like, how did you fall into this? Or were you looking to be a director and a writer and a producer and all this kind of stuff? And are you still looking to be that?
You know, every kid, I think, goes to film school. Not every kid, but a big chunk of them saying, I want to be a writer. I want to be a director. You know what I mean? I think everyone wants to tell their own stories. Of course, a lot of people realize, hey, I want to be a storyteller, but with the camera, you know what I mean? And become cinematographers. I think in this generation, the editing thing is like, because there's so much content to edit, you probably see a lot of huge influx of people going to school. But then again, people can be self-taught. You know how it is. You can watch YouTube and figure out how to do Avid and Premiere. You know, I mean, I did, for the most part. So people learn how they have to learn. But yeah, I basically, I went to undergrad at a small Jesuit college in Buffalo, New York, Canisius College.
Okay.
And I went there just to play football for 3 or 4 more years. I only ended up playing 3, but then I got into the communications program, and that's when I picked up the Hi8 camera because it was, we were filming Moses videos, and it was before, yeah. So I was running around Buffalo filming my little gangster epics. I'm watching Tarantino movies. I'm watching, when I saw Clerks, I saw Reservoir Dogs, and I'm like, I want to do what those guys do. I remember being a kid and seeing Die Hard. I think I told you this. I bought a ticket for Big because I could ride my bike to the movie theater. Bought a ticket for Big, and I snuck into Die Hard. And I said, I don't know what a movie producer is, but I want to do that because I was like, 8 years old or 9 years old or something. So. Right. It's always been in my blood, and I guess maybe I always looked at sports as more entertainment than anything because I probably realized I wasn't going to play it professionally. Right. So I got, I didn't really care about school the first time around for my undergrad. I made it through by the skin of my teeth, graduated, started working at PBS television in Rochester, New York.
Right on. And
became a PA like everyone else. You start as a production assistant. And I was there a couple years. And then, bro, I was making more money bartending 2 nights a week. And one at the Crown Plaza, one at the club down the road, than 5 days at PBS. And I'm like, something is wrong. You know what I mean? But I got money coming out of my pockets because I'm living in my dad's basement. You know what I mean? At the time. Working 2 jobs, just pimping. I'm like, this is the greatest lifetime. Until then, it's like time to leave. You're like, well, you can't stay in the basement forever. So what I ended up doing is I quit PBS. I went and worked for a paper company called Dunder Mifflin. No, I'm just kidding. I went to work for a paper company called TST Impresso, but it straight up was Dunder Mifflin. You know what I mean? Okay. It was the same idea. And I was selling fucking paper because I was like, I need a sales job. I got to keep my girlfriend happy. I'm going to buy the white picket fence house in Rochester. Right. And I realized I didn't want to sell paper the rest of my life. You know what I mean? It was like literally February. I drove to Pittsburgh. And it's like, it straight up looked like Hoth. Like, it was just like, I don't want to be driving through this shit till I'm 89 years old selling fucking paper. And then, dude, on a whim, I applied to San Diego State Film School.
Oh, wow.
I got
down here.
Yeah, San Diego State. Okay. I got in on a whim. I focused on writing and directing, I did, my thesis film was pretty impressive. I'd say it was like something no one would ever expect. It was actually a period piece where I found a Edward Hopper painting called Room in New York, and we built the whole thing and we brought it to life. The opening shot is it's a famous shot through a New York apartment, a woman sitting at a piano in a red dress. So I basically said, well, I'm going to interpret what's happening in this thing. And I thought it was kind of cool. While everybody else was doing their version of Animal House or Pulp Fiction or Clerks, I'm like, fuck it, dude. I'm going the high road. I'm going to try a period piece. If I pull this off, I'll look like a genius. And I went to school with Destin Crenton, director of Short Term 12.
Right.
And the new Shang-Chi film for Marvel. And he was a year ahead of me. And we all knew he was the greatest filmmaker any of us had ever seen. You know what I mean? Like, he was talented from the jump. Right. But Destin and I used to play at a lot of film festivals together. Like, my film, he did a short version of Short Term 12 before the feature with Brie Larson. So that he won Sundance with the short.
Gotcha.
He made that at San Diego State. So, you know, how crazy it was for us, how proud of us, or how proud we were. This kid was like one of our own won Sundance. He didn't win the fucking student category. He won the entire thing, dude. And the kid was just a gem from the beginning and a marvel. And so we had a pretty decent film program in that they let a lot of us kind of run wild and do our own thing. Yeah. And it wasn't like they were like, look, we're going to give you the tools. We're going to give you the discounts. We're going to, you know, some discourse and a couple manuals and this and that. But it really wasn't that intensive. It was like, go out and like everyone did a different position on everyone's film. I may do sound for this guy's film. I might be an assistant director on this guy. I might produce this one. And we had a core group, about 7-8 guys that we were pretty interchangeable and making our own films. And I think we just learned the old fashioned way. And back then we were still shooting 35 millimeter. Right. We were renting out Panavision packages, and it was sick. We felt like real fucking filmmakers, 22-person crews. I mean, some guys I know had bigger crews than Kubrick, you know, and I'm like, I don't know if you think, you know, Bad Robot is just going to sign you the minute you walk out of here because you got a big fucking crew. It don't work that way. You got to make something good, you know? Yeah. So that was like my real first. And then, you know, the way my entrance into LA and Hollywood was, I was interning for Morgan Freeman. And, you know, I worked for Morgan for 5 years after that.
Yeah. Oh, Morgan Freeman. Did you ever have conversations with that guy? Did you ever hang
Just a couple, 2,000-3,000. I got to know him real well.
What was that experience like?
Yeah, he's the greatest. He is the greatest.
What time is this at? Like, what year is this when this is happening?
So let's say I probably got to LA in 2010.
Okay.
2009.
Wow.
So I go to work for Morgan till probably 2005. Roughly.
2015? You've been 2005 to 2010?
Sorry, 2015.
So 2010 to 2015, you were more
2010, I was with Morgan, yeah, I would say. And on and off, I was in that period of time, I would also offset myself and intern at other places. So like I'd intern Tuesdays and Thursdays with Lawrence Bender, Quentin Tarantino's producer. You know that. Yeah. They don't work together anymore, but they used to.
I met that guy. He's doing a Mortal Kombat one. He's doing Mortal Kombat.
He's producing another film?
I think so. Let me see if I've got this right, because I thought I met him on the set. Oh, no, maybe not. Maybe a different guy. I met a different guy on the set.
Okay, Lawrence Bender produced everything, I think, up until, I don't think he did Hateful Eight, or that was his last one. I think, you know what? No, Inglourious was his last film he produced.
For Tarantino.
Yes, for Tarantino. Yeah. Then I think he ended up doing a Starz TV show down the road. But
he just did Capone, the Capone one. That,
did he?
With Tom Hardy.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
With Trank. So it's for Josh Trank. So yeah.
Okay.
He's still working. I mean, he's doing all kinds. Yeah, Hacksaw Ridge, he executive produced. Silence, he executive produced. So certainly still working, just not necessarily with QT.
That's how I got to meet Quentin, you know, back in the day.
Right.
Fucking great dude. Loved him. Yeah. He's such a funny dude. I think I've told you, I've told the story 100 times where I had to kick the ShamWow guy out of Lawrence Bender's Memorial Day party. And then
now, is that the blonde dude? Is that the crazy fucking blonde guy? Is that the
ShamWow? Vince, the ShamWow fuck, you know, that guy.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the night, because I was interning for Lawrence, but I said, you know, they were looking for a bartender for their Memorial Day party. I'm like, let me do it, man. And then they ended up putting me at the security at the front door, running the guest list, because whoever they had there was just letting everybody in. So I went from bartender to bouncer, back to bartender at the end of the night when they were closing everything down. And I'm like, they're like, don't give anybody any drinks. And like I see like Tobey Maguire, I'm like, no, I can't give you a drink. And whoever else was there, like, no, I can't give you a drink. And all of a sudden Tarantino walks up to the bar. He's like, hey, Kaiser, you got a drink for your favorite director? And I'm like, absolutely. And you could just look at these people's faces like, what the fuck is that? Like, what the fuck? And made him his Red Bull and I think his Diet Red Bull and vodka he drank. Wow. But yeah, but he was a cool fucking dude. I'm like, I go, I'll give you this drink if you tell me what you're writing right now. And he's like, well, I'm writing something, and I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I'll tell you that I'm writing something. And it was Django. If you like, just figure out the timing of it all.
Two things. Do you believe that he's really going to be done at 10 films? Do you believe he's the kind of person that'll finish it off at 10?
Yeah, until he gets bored. I feel like that guy will be sitting on the couch. I mean, honestly, could you imagine being that prolific of a filmmaker and storyteller?
Right.
And you'd be on the couch and you're going to tell me you're going to be a man of letters and you want to write novels. I think that's great. I guess if you live in Tuscany with your beautiful wife and you got nothing to do but tend to your garden, that sounds like a really nice life. But how could you live in America and not be a filmmaker?
Yeah.
I just don't get it. Like he might, I don't know. The dude's completely unpredictable, but I feel like after 2 years, he's going to be on the couch. Someone will market this thing. Oh, the return of Quentin Tarantino, make $1 quadrillion. Hollywood has a way of
What's the one thing people don't know about him that they'd be surprised to find out about Quentin, you think?
I didn't hang out with him all that much. I've only really met him. I'd only met him like twice.
Okay, well, how about Morgan? Is there anything that?
Yeah, I'll tell you something about Morgan.
Yeah, please. I love that man.
He is fundamentally interested in science. Like when you see him, hosting Through the Wormhole, he's not just there reading off a teleprompter. He studies science. He has since he was a kid, to the point where when he's on set and he's reading something that's on the prompt or whatever, to introduce a segment and I'm talking about that show Through the Wormhole, which was on Science Channel. Where, for people who don't know, it's called Through the Wormhole with Morgan Freeman, and it's Morgan explores the mysteries of the universe and biggest questions mankind has. Right. Well, he studies this shit, and he'll say to the director, "Are you sure that was right?" And I see them going back and forth and having conversations on the set about biology, about artificial intelligence, and it's just shocking the level of knowledge the man really has. It's not just a voice. It's he really isn't, and he's a funny son of a bitch. I mean, loves to break balls. It's just it was so funny. I think I ate his lunch out of the refrigerator, with the break room refrigerator one day, and I could hear him, Kaiser, goddamn it! And I'm like, why is he blaming me? He's like, well, look at you. You know why I'm blaming you? And I'm like, all right, I ate your sandwich, but usually you don't finish it. You eat half, you throw it in there, and then you go away. It's hysterical. So me and Morgan arguing in the break room over me eating his food was a pretty absurd moment in my Hollywood career.
Well, you're with him around this time when he does Dark Knight Rises, when he's doing Olympus Has Fallen and Oblivion, Las Vegas, Transcendence, Lucy, even, and Dolphin Tales. You're around him during this time. What was that? Okay, were you on set with him with this stuff, or were you just kind of communication with him? No. Through a lot of that. I went to the what's the Tom Cruise movie he did? Oh, Oblivion. Yeah.
So, I got to go with him to the premiere and the whole nine, and that was really dope. We used to go to the Producers Guild Awards all the time. I was just, they treated me like family. Like Morgan and Revelations Entertainment, his company, treated me like family and gave me every opportunity to succeed. From the time I came in as an intern, eventually became the office manager, then became a production associate. And then my big leap was I became an associate producer on Through the Wormhole.
Oh, wow.
And so, which is crazy because as much as I'm into science and sci-fi and I'm very, I haven't missed an episode of Cosmos. I'm into all that shit. Brief History of Time. Don't ask me to give you a lesson on, biomechanics or don't ask me to explain how dark matter works. I'm interested in it though. So being thrown onto those shows, it just elevates you right away. Number one, you got to be fucking smart because we're not shooting, Johnny and Sally bake cookies for the Hallmark Channel. No disrespect to anybody who makes those shows, but it was pretty intense, brother. We're flying all over the country and interviewing groundbreaking scientists and doctors, and they send me on the road, and so it was insane. So and after that, basically, once I had my first associate producer gig, I was kind of off and running. I did another show for them called Food Factor Fiction, which was very cool. Yeah, exposing food mysteries. Michael McKean from Michael McKean. He's
Lenny from Lenny and Squiggy and Laverne and Shirley,
and Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. Yeah, and Spinal Tap, of course.
Yeah, Spinal Tap.
He was another sweetheart. Got to work with him. So funny, hysterical. Gave him a copy of my
tool. Yeah, his wife's Annette O'Toole. His wife is Annette O'Toole.
Oh, right, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep. Worked with him. He was super cool. Baseball fan. Gave him a copy of my dad's, book and everything. And so, I mean, I don't know, man. I got to say, you always hear these horror stories about how everybody's mean, stuck up, and a piece of shit in Hollywood. But I mean, everyone I've met has given me the time of day. And, I'm not saying, I mean, let's not, I've had some run-ins. I don't talk about that, but they're few and far between, But have you been watching this Comedy Store thing on Showtime?
Not yet. I'm going to burn through it probably starting tomorrow. I'm going to get up early and start watching.
So that was my last internship when I finally realized I'm done. I'm not doing this shit anymore. I'm sick of working for free. But you had to. That was the only way you could meet people. That's why I tell them, like, what's the best advice to a kid who just gets out of film school or a kid who just moves to LA and doesn't, and wants to get on set? Dude, be an intern, work for free, find another job. I mean, I know it's a pandemic now. It's not as easy as going to Foot Locker and finding a side gig, a side hustle. But you know what I mean? Like, just go work. That's the only way you're going to meet people. Endear yourself to people, outwork everyone. And that's kind of what I did. But yeah, my last internship was at the Comedy Store. But then they ended up giving me a paid job working for Pauly Shore in his office upstairs. Wow. Which is Landing Patch Productions. Right. So Pauly's got an office in the top floor of the Comedy Store where he runs his whole production arm. So I worked for him and then helped him with booking shows and all that. But and it was a way for me to get up on stage, which was the only reason I was there. I'm like, the only reason I'm taking this gig is to fucking get up on stage on Monday nights on the friends and family, night. Right. So, but that was it was crazy. But I just started it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Christian texted me about it the other day. He's like,
a lot of
you got to start watching.
Yeah,
he just interviewed the director for a one-on-one. It's going to be
really. I can't wait to watch it. Yeah. Oh man, I forget his name. Mike something. He was there.
Yeah, Mike Binder.
Yeah, he was there from the beginning. Him and Jim Carrey were thick as thieves coming up together.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Okay. Yeah, they're buddies. They're buddies for sure. Oh, wow. Okay, and he used to babysit Pauly.
Paul, for those of you who don't know, Pauly Shore's mom, Mitzi Shore, she's the one who basically ran the Comedy Store, if I'm right on that. And like, she's the one you had to get approved by to get up on stage or do anything. Yeah. Many people have spoken about her. And of course, she passed away a few years ago. And there were some incredible tributes. Whatever you feel about Pauly Shore, Mitzi Shore was, she was her own entity, her own essence here in Los Angeles. God, I still can't use to say
started a fucking movement, man.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty incredible stuff for sure. Well, let's go back to the situation. Well, first of all, let's go back to the situation. You mentioned your dad. So tell people your dad is a famous Major League Baseball umpire, correct?
Let's say he's more like El Guapo. He's infamous. But yes, he's an infamous Major League Baseball umpire.
Yeah, can you tell people why he's infamous?
Okay.
Yeah. For those who may not know, you never know who knows in the Outlaw Nation who doesn't.
I might have a good picture of him, John. Hold on.
Okay. All right. Well, there he's going to look for the picture right now, but it's fantastic. You guys are going to love this, I think, for sure.
John, this is going to be like Jimmy Fallon, like late night. I'm going to hold up.
There he is.
This is my dad. He's the big guy getting bug spray sprayed on him. He's about 6'3", 280 pounds.
Jesus.
Professional Major League Baseball umpire. Also I think he wrestled professionally before he was an umpire.
Yes.
That's how him and Bobby the Brain Heenan become friends.
Right.
But my dad, he worked the 1987 World Series, which was the Cardinals and the Twins, did the 93 World Series, the Indians and the Marlins.
Okay.
Did one All-Star game in Toronto. Was that 91 maybe? I'm trying to remember. Was it the first year of the Sky Dome? I don't remember.
Okay.
But I grew up with an umpire as a dad. So that's some shit.
Did you go with him on the road at times? Did you meet some of these ball players? Did you have this experience with these guys?
Yeah. It's funny because you literally grow up in the locker rooms, and I grew up in a different time where there wasn't Twitters and there was no internet for that at that point. So it really was more of a club. It felt like people kind of got to know each other, where now, because everyone's time is so demanded because of training advancements, because of money, marketing deals, and and they don't even allow people in the dressing rooms anymore. I remember Ken Griffey Jr. would walk in the dressing room and be like, "What's up, Kaiser? Let's shoot hoops," because he was a kid at the ballpark when I was a kid at the ballpark, and then one day he turned 19 and he made $19 million and his life changed forever, or 17, whatever he was. So, you know, yeah, I got to grow up, and my dad made a lot of friends because he did a charity sports banquet where they gave away a lot of money to an orphanage in Rochester, New York, and some other causes. FBI agents' families killed in the line of, or FBI agents that were killed in the line of duty, money to their families, whatever. But you get your Don Mattingly, George Brett, Kirby Puckett, Jose Canseco, Cecil Fielder. I'm just, you know, names up, you know, all these guys would come to Rochester, New York, do a banquet one night only, you know, and it was just, you got to hang out with these guys. It was like hanging out. Honestly, John, I equate them to like hanging out with the young guns. They remind me of like gunfighters. That's just their attitude. I feel like because all they really have to worry about is waking up and playing baseball the next day. So there's this fun-loving, crazy spirit these ball players have that was infectious as a kid, you know, to see. And it was, you become friends with them, you know, quicker than you'd be, you know, you're a fan, you collect their baseball cards and all that shit, but you just can't wait to get on the road and go. I mean, it would get to a point where I'd try and time out when my dad was with Seattle or working Seattle, whether it be in Toronto or Boston or whatever, so I could go hang out with Griffey and Jay Buhner and Joey Cora and those guys. Wow. Yeah, they were really cool. They were, you know, Mattingly, Don Mattingly, I still talk to this day. I've known him since I was 9 years old. You know, he's a good friend of the family. And Mike Pagliarulo is another good, you know. So I don't really talk to a lot of these, but yeah, you know, I did grow up in a interesting time where you really did get to know these people. And I think because my dad had such a big attitude, big personality. I mean, look, he was hated by more players than he was loved. And he was certainly hated by more fans. And nobody goes to the game to see the umpire, John. Let's be real. You're either going to see team A or B. So, and my dad carried himself, you know, as a big, you know, kind of fucking a big noise sometimes, but he was a good umpire, and you know, he got in a lot of arguments. So if you know, go on YouTube and look up classic umpire fights. I cut a video. I basically made my 1980s MTV video version of what like a montage of umpire fights. Right. So, you know, check that out. Classic umpire fights. And you really can get a sense of what my dad's job was, you know? Well,
I mean, if he's a former pro wrestler, he's already got the attitude of not taking any guff from anybody. When you're in pro wrestling, especially because, I mean, obviously he didn't quite, you know, hit the heights that a lot of these other wrestlers got a chance to at that time. But he wasn't there to do that, John. He wasn't there to be a star. He was a fucking jobber. Put him over. He was the Barry Horowitz of his
John, it was even worse than that. At least Barry Horowitz knew when he was going to work. My dad and a bunch of thugs from like the Buffalo, Rochester, Syracuse area were the guys you called if someone last minute got beat up, thrown in jail, killed. You know what I mean? They had a short list of guys. They knew they could. Can you be in Syracuse in 2 hours? And they'd say, yeah. And my dad put on a mask. He was known as the Hatchet, which is absurd. And so, as the story goes, his mask got pulled off. I think it was in Syracuse, or it was a minor league town where a bunch of the players and the coaches and shit were there. And I was like, holy fuck, that's Kaiser. You know what I mean? And then the league came down on him hard. I think he was in AA baseball at the time because he's got to work his way up just like the players, single A, double A, triple A. And the AA commissioner's like, you're either going to be a wrestler or you're going to be an umpire. And he's like, okay, I'm going to hang up the tights. Hang him up. But he made a lot of good friendships, and that's how, and which was super dope about that was every time Big John Studd and Bobby Heenan and the Legion of Doom came to Rochester, I go backstage and have them slap me around, you know? Wow. Especially the Legion of Doom used to slap me around. Like you mean the actual animal. Like, Hawking Animal. Wow. Oh yeah. I mean, I was friends with them since high school. They'd come to my dad's sports banquets, and I'll never forget, Animal and Hawk started the Zubaz clothing line. Did you know that? I didn't know that. That was them? They started that in Minneapolis. That's their fucking company. They partnered up with two guys who came up with the designs and shit. It was basically like those dudes couldn't get shit off the ground except for them. You know what I mean? So they come together and they start that whole thing. So Hawk and Animal show up to my dad's celebrity sports banquet, and Animal's wearing a black and gold, which are my school colors, tie and cummerbund, Zubaz tying cummerbunds at the end of the day. Took it off me. He's like, I'm like, fuck, I've been asking you all night. Like, he wasn't fucking around like he was going to tell me he was going to give it to me. I'm like, yeah, let me have that for the prom, man. Let me wear that. Think about me showing up at the prom. There's actual fucking pictures of it, John. We'll have to dig them up. But like me wearing a Zubaz tie and cummerbund could be the most meathead thing in the history of high school. But yeah, no, they were my friends. I mean, they used to, I used to hang out with them in places.
Get in trouble.
A little bit. Hawk mostly. I mean, Hawk was
sure. You seem like you'd be a third member of Hawk and of the Road Warriors. You seem like you'd fit right in with those guys.
I'd walk up to Hawk and I'd be like all fired up to see him and say hello. I haven't seen him in a long time, and he had this smile on his face, and at the last second, he would literally do like a Ric Flair chop on my chest.
Wow.
Not holding back, and he'd be like, "You need to get in the gym. Your chest feels like a coffee table." And I was like, thanks. I got like a collapsed lung for the next 6 fucking hours.
Oh, that's great. Real quick, here are some pictures of Kaiser's pops. Like you said, getting into it with people. There with Davey Johnson and Bobby Bow.
No, that's not him. That's my dad.
Is that him? That's him right there?
That's 21. That's 21, yeah.
He's getting into it right there. I think that's the I mean, even in an all-star game, he's getting into it. You gotta love it.
I think that's Juan Gonzalez over his shoulder.
I think so too.
I think so.
Is that your dad there too?
Yeah, Dad and Johnny Oates.
Johnny Oates. I remember when he was the. Yeah. And is this your dad too? Is this your dad too? Going out with Earl Weaver?
My dad's arch nemesis. That's Batman and Joker right there. Like Joker and Joker. I mean, neither of those people are good. They hated each other, John.
Really? For real?
Hated each other, John.
Because I grew up in that area.
John, kayfabe aside, they hated each other.
For real. Because I mean, Earl Weaver was what I grew up with back then. At the time when I grew up in DC, we didn't have baseball, but we always had the Orioles, and you also had Earl Weaver doing his crazy shit. Like you had Rick Dempsey doing his stuff in the rain. You had Earl Weaver doing his nuttiness with the umps all the time. He gave Billy Martin a run for his money getting into it with the umps. So they legitimately hated each other.
John, so bad that his family called my dad when he passed and said, "You want to come say something at the funeral?" I was watching my dad on the phone. He's like, I mean, you realize that I hated him and he hated me. To the family on the phone. Like, you realize, I don't think you want me. Yeah. And then the phone call ended.
That's crazy, man. So how did you, just for the people, maybe they've heard it already, but like, how did you find your way into this nutty fucking world of the Schmoedown, man?
Me and Harloff went to the New York Film Academy together about 1,000 fucking years ago. Yeah.
Wow. And you guys have just stayed in contact? On and off.
Okay. Now we're a lot closer because he's, Supreme Leader Harloff. So we're more in contact now than. But no, we became pretty good buddies at that thing. And, Harloff's final film was basically his version of Animal House. He was living at FSU. He was at this filmmaking workshop in the summer, and he casted me as his Belushi. And so he made this movie called Burke, which was an amalgamation of like 2 of the craziest dudes on campus he lived with. Wow. And he had me play the part. Really? It was by far the best film anybody's shit aired that of any film, like out of 20, whatever. He was the only one they said play that again because everyone was laughing so hard. So, Harloff's been pretty good at his shit for a long time. But and so that's how I got, and then eventually Smets truthfully gets me into Schmoedown because I knew Christian and I'd come visit the studio once in a while and we were in contact. I'd see him at Comic-Con or whatever. And right. But there's no thought of getting into Schmoedown until Smets basically told him I was going to be his manager, Wow. It's fucking crazy.
It's been a hell of a journey. And I don't want to get into it just yet. We'll get into it in the second hour because Kevin is going to come in. That's right. If you're watching, Kevin Smets going to come in the second hour. We'll get into a little bit more of the Schmoedown talk. But I want to get into this construction of the Kaiser personality, man. This is such a unique thing.
Who are you, Sigmund Freud? You want to talk about my mother and throw me ink blotters and shit on the screen?
We'll get there, but I mean, it's so fascinating too because, dude, you have that kind of, it's very obvious. You radiate that East Coast almost Italian Goomba shit. Like you radiate that stuff. The way you wear the hat, the way you got the gloves sometimes, the pulling up of the sleeves, like this all kind of thing that you do, this whole vibe of yours. Is this something that came naturally from like your family, or from like, is your family, is that of Italian origin, or is your German origin? Like, what is your family, and how did you embrace this kind of Tony Soprano kind of vibe you have sometimes? Where do you get that from?
That is the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me.
I mean it. I love it.
No, I am a definite paisan. I mean, look, I'm 50% Italian and 50% German. Obviously, Kaiser's the German half,
right,
and the Italian half is the hungry half. That's why my shirt sizes are going up during this fucking pandemic.
You and me both, brother. You and me both.
But sucks. No, I grew up in a pretty straight up Bronx Tale looking kind of area.
Wow.
Early on, before my dad really made it in the big leagues, we grew up in the city of Rochester, and it was Lyle Avenue, which was just the intersection of, fists, drugs, gambling. It was like,
wow.
Around the corner from my house was Roncone's Italian restaurants.
Okay.
All the wise guys, and everybody would go, and I just walk in, and you're just a kid drifting through this world of OTB, off track betting, and like I'm literally that scene when the bikers got the shit beat out of them by in Bronx Tale.
Yeah,
I saw something very similar to that, and I'm like, that's was like happened because back in these, in the early days, there were two rival mafia gangs in Rochester. There was an A team and a B team, and those were their names. And I think the one was down with the Chicago crime family, and the other was with the New York boys. And I think there was a turf wars in Utica, Rochester, Syracuse, that area. So I saw a lot of that shit at the racetracks and at some of these restaurants. Now, eventually, we moved to the suburbs and started living a good life. It was over. Went to Family Ties after that. Fucking growing pains and shit. But no, and I mean the Italian half of my family and most of my friends are Italians. Like if you took my closest friends on the planet, I'm like one or two of the only half Italians in the joint. They're all straight up, paisans. I grew up around a lot of that. The Italian half is way bigger than the German half of the family, so it certainly influenced me more. And not for nothing, we've been watching these gangster movies since we were 5 and 6. Like our parents didn't give a shit what we watched. I mean, it was. I mean, the VHS era, John. It was like our parents. I don't think parents understood. Like, or really just like, yeah, grab them a couple movies off the shelf, whatever. And it's like I'm getting like Chuck Norris. What did Mission? Or was that Mission?
Missing in Action.
Missing in Action.
Yeah.
Watching people getting carved up with machine guns, and then absurd horror movies, all the Freddy movies, and like 9 years old. You know what I mean? Like we're not playing Pokemon. We were watching like fucking. I remember seeing Apocalypse Now way younger than I should have, and I was like, I don't understand shit about this movie. Like once that it crossed over into that weird sort of Kurtz world, I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm watching right now. Like this must be like taking drugs. I remember thinking at like 12 years old.
That's for sure, man. I mean, my dad and mom were the same way. They just grab stuff and bring it home. And because my dad and mom were, foreign or immigrants, they didn't really know the rating system and what that all meant. So like
cool box cover.
yeah. Like I remember they took me to see Garp. And World According to Garp or whatever.
Oh my god!
Because they loved Mork and Mindy, and they thought it was going to be one of those shows.
Oh, it's a dark movie.
It's completely not anything like Mork and Mindy.
It's a dark film.
So I mean, like they would grab Richard Pryor stuff because they'd seen him in Stir Crazy and thought his other stuff was going to be funny and not offensive. And then you're watching all this. So you're right. The VHS era was a whole nother time to grow up in this country.
My dad had stacks of comedy records. He had Steve Martin, Bill Cosby, Richard Pryor, and I'm listening to Richard Pryor because he goes on the road, and eventually it's like you just put on records because of curiosity. Like, oh, there's Elvis. I know who that is. I put that on, and there's Billy Joel. I know who that is. I'll put that. And then it's like you put on a Richard Pryor album, and you're like, you just like, to me, it's just like, I just saw it as a brand of comedy, you know what I mean? And I didn't overly think much about, what what he was saying so much as his message and what, you know, the art of it all, you know, but now everything is so broken down and people pick through things and like, you can't even almost have an art for, and I'm not, you know what I'm trying to say here is that it's like Richard Pryor lived that life. He grew up in a whorehouse, you know, like he saw some of the most ridiculous things, and to turn it into comedy, you know, at a young age, you're more laughing at the swear words and shit, of course, but you know, kids aren't stupid. And then the more you start to like get into that, because that's all it takes. You know, you listen to one of those records, it was like over with for me. And like now Comic Relief and that whole thing starts, John. You remember like that was the big comedy boom when Bobcat Goldthwait was hot, you know, like Rodney did that show on HBO, the Young Comedians special.
Yeah, the Young Comedians. That's where Dice Clay showed up on the Young Comedians. I remember
out there, right?
Well, I mean, that's the thing sometimes with comedy. You can't go backwards and start and like eviscerate or incinerate people from the past. So they were doing comedy that fit for that time. Do you know what I'm saying? And
it has a place still in this world, is all I'm saying. Like
exactly.
You should never listen to that anymore. Like, no, that's not really true. Like, you know, like you should listen to Lenny Bruce and you should listen to Pryor, regardless of the words that are coming out of their mouth.
Right. Even early Woody,
storytellers. Woody
Allen. Early Woody Allen is
brilliant.
Stellar stand-up.
So smart,
incredibly well constructed.
Yeah, he was the greatest fucking joke writer of his era, you know, before he started going his own way.
Right.
Getting in, I think Laugh-In gave him his first job.
Exactly.
He was writing there. Steve Martin was writing for Laugh-In, you know, like some of the most brilliant writers.
Is where he first started.
Say again?
Show of Shows. He was brought in to like right at the tail end of your Show of Shows, and then from there into Laugh-In, as you said. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Show of Shows wasn't Red Skelton. Who was it?
No, Show of Shows, Sid Caesar, man.
Sid Caesar, right.
Mel Brooks was on that. Carl Reiner was on that. There were so many great writers that were on that, you know.
Right.
I'm not saying that you're not right to, like people nowadays, you can say, I'm not going to go back. And that's your right. But the rest of us who can go back and like put it in context, we shouldn't be vilified for being able to go back. Because I
still listen to those records. I mean, I literally tried to go up and buy up every Richard album I could find, you know what I mean? And if I see one, I buy it. And because like there's just to me, he's just on another level. Him and Robin Williams, I think, are the greatest of all time for, you know, their own specific reasons. And I know we can get into these conversations about greatest all time, but there was something about those guys to where I feel like it didn't even look like they were trying. It didn't look like they practiced. It didn't look like, it literally looked like they went out there and just were on. I've never seen anything like it in my life, you know. And they're one person shows, John. You know, it's really what they are.
Yeah. I mean, those guys of that era, you had to come in. Look, it was the 70s and the 60s. We were dealing with Vietnam and nuclear war, and like you could die at any moment. Women were protesting in the streets for the Equal Right Amendment. Civil rights protests were happening. You couldn't come with, hey, my dad held my hand walking to the ballpark today, or I really love my wife comedy. That shit isn't going to work. You had to come with the hard stuff. And you had to speak some truth, you know, and we go back and listen to the old Richard Pryor. This is some hardcore truth. Look, I know this is not the right thing to say, maybe, and we could get in trouble for it, but even early Cosby is phenomenal.
Hysterical.
And yes, did later, terrible.
Amazing fucking storyteller, though. Those records those were the first records I listened to.
Yeah, me too.
Those are the first, because I knew who he was. You know what I mean? Because he was a recognized. I knew the cartoon and Fat Albert and all that. And,
that's where I grew up on, Fat Albert.
No, it's too bad he turned out to be a complete shitbag. But
absolutely,
those records are phenomenal.
Right.
They're so good.
Yeah. I have no shame owning those. I didn't throw any of them out. I haven't done it because it's like, you know what? That's that time, you know, and the humor is so well done. And as someone who's like, you know, always admired stand-up comedy from afar and occasionally done it, it's the craftsmanship of it is something you have to respect from top to bottom. Because, I mean, if you're going to come at me about that, but you're okay with Roman Polanski or you're okay with others going, like, you've got to, where's your line? Because your line needs to be consistent across the board. And too many people want to judge. If you own Breakfast at Tiffany's, you got nothing to say to me about racism or anything like that, because that's a flat out a racist movie with that character in it. And so it's those kinds of things. People draw the lines for themselves, but then want to judge other people, and that's
it's
where
fair. It should. That's the way it should be. It's up to you.
Yeah.
Whatever you want, you pick up. Whatever you want to set down, you set it down.
Exactly.
But don't get on a freaking soapbox about it and why someone else shouldn't. It's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, unless you make fun of Sean Barretto, then go ahead. All right, Strict Knights.
Go ahead.
Man, I love Kaiser's stories. One of the best managers and characters in the Schmoedown for sure. Kaiser and Rocha, top 3 gangster movies all time. # smash cancel. Well, first of all, what's up, Shug? Haven't seen you in the chat.
What up, Shug?
So very nice to see you. Thanks for popping in. Top 3 gangster movies of all time. Have you got them ready to go?
Do you want to do our 3s, our 2s, and our 1s?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. What's your 3?
My 3 does. Fuck. This is terrible. John, what's your 3?
All right, my number 3, to be honest with you, is Goodfellas. It doesn't make my top 2, but Goodfellas for sure is my number 3.
All right, so my 3 is Pulp Fiction, and I know that doesn't. A lot of people don't call that a gangster. I call it a gangster movie.
Okay.
There's gangsters in that movie, so it's a gangster movie. It doesn't have to be about the Italian mafia in Sicily. It helps, but I'm going Pulp Fiction number 3.
All right. I respect Pulp Fiction number 3. That's a good choice. I think I have to. How could I be remiss and not say Godfather or Scarface at number 2? Rather, Scarface is my number 2. I just love them. I rewatched it again the other day because I have the 4K. I got the 4K of it. Fuck that movie,
bro! It's like
it's
like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre of gangster movies.
It's Pacino getting honorary pass to be Latino. That's one thing I will never complain about.
Bro, that was one of the most convincing roles I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
it was troublingly good.
Yeah.
My number 2 is your number 3, Goodfellas.
Okay. Right,
well, I mean, honestly, I just feel like there is a certain cohesiveness of character in that movie.
Oh yeah.
And I'm telling you, it all culminates in the minute they sit down in Scorsese's grandmother's kitchen. And you're just watching these guys. I'm sure they had they're like, here, you're going to talk about this. No one had a script there. No one was reading their sides that day. I feel it was just like they knew what they had to talk about. They needed to get the knife to handle the hoof, as it were. The hoof. But there's just these golden moments of existing in normal life.
Yeah,
that blow me away about that movie, and I find those to be the more interesting. And then the whole cab stand thing is just one of the greatest moments in cinema history.
Right.
Just that chunk of the movie. So my 2 is your 3.
Okay. I only dig it because I hate the last 15 minutes of the movie when all the drug stuff and he finally gets caught and all that kind of shit.
Sad. It's a tragedy.
It's sad. So I hate it because it's so much fun up to that moment. He's so badass up to that moment. And you're just like, man, this sucks. When Paulie turns on him, I got to turn my back on you now.
So sad, bro. But they break your heart as an audience member. Your heart is broken because you feel like a member of this family by the end of it.
Yeah, agreed. My number 1 has to be The Godfather Part 2. That is just like that takes the gangster movie, elevates it to a whole nother level, man. And
I concur.
Right. Oh, thank you. The way Coppola expanded that world that we were introduced in the first Godfather and made it international and brought in Hyman Roth, who's essentially Meyer Lansky from Crime Incorporated, and have him work around Michael, what he's trying to do, trying to get them legit. And the lie that he tells himself that he's going to somehow make this mobster family, this gangster family legitimate. Yeah. And then when you go back and watch it now in retrospect and you go, shit, some of the stuff he's talking about, I mean, what are we seeing in the White House right now? Feels like a gangster president for sure.
Absolutely. Right? No, you're right about that. It is. That movie, there's no words you can say. I mean, just the cross-generational thing, is just, to me, is just, it's an epic. It's a fucking epic. It's Lawrence of Arabia. If Scarface is the Chainsaw Massacre of gangster films, then Godfather 2 is the Lawrence of Arabia of, it's just so beautiful. And the characters and it looks like a Life magazine, I don't know. It's just texture. It's got layers. And yeah, I mean, I love the De Niro scenes are just, that's my favorite De Niro performance in any damn movie. And I know he's had a bunch of them. I just love seeing him when he's not saying shit. He's almost like a silent character to a degree. Like it's almost like a silent film as far as his character is concerned. He doesn't talk much, and those are the performances I like the most.
Yeah, him with the back and forth with Fanucci is fantastic. He's just like, all this thing about what's under the cap, what's not under the cap, and all the silence. Even the way he kills him, he doesn't say anything, just kills him. It's fantastic.
That's it. It's over. Fantastic. Have you watched it in like sequential order or whatever?
Many times. I've
never done that
version of it. Yeah. In sequential.
And so you can buy like a DVD that'll play it in order.
The new one that they reissued, which is better than the first Blu-ray versions that they reissued. It's more cleaner. They have a way that you can watch it sequentially. They have a cut that you can watch sequentially.
Fuck, I gotta do that. Dude.
And they include the deleted scenes. So you're watching the entire.
Oh, I gotta do that, man. I gotta get that.
It's like 9.5, 10 hours.
I'm gonna tell my sister I want that for Christmas.
Yeah, shout out to Casino. Sure, I enjoy Casino. That one has grown on me over the years. I hated it the first time, but I've liked it so much more the second time. And if you haven't watched the Don Rickles outtakes from
God,
do yourself a favor, get on YouTube and watch those outtakes.
All right, let me write that down because Don Rickles is one of my favorite of all time.
Him giving De Niro shit because De Niro messed up a line during one of their takes is incredible. Incredible.
How have I not seen this?
No, you gotta see because like Bobby, what the fuck's wrong with you? You sit around all day. You gotta say one line. You sit around trade. You remember one
right. Why did I feel like I have seen that though? Like that, or that was a story I heard him tell. Like that sounds familiar to me. All right, I'm writing it down.
All right, we're at the hour mark at 7 o'clock here. We've only had one Streamlab. What is going on here, people? Send in some support here for the things we're doing on the Outlaw Nation Show here with John Kaiser. We got Kevin.
Nobody cares about me and my dungeon.
What the hell?
We ain't winning this year. Nobody cares.
Stop. Joseph Curran said, "Hey guys, Kaiser, have you been watching the World Series? It's on right now. Game 6. If the Dodgers can get the job done, where does this team rank in the best team since 2000?" My friend and I thought about them. The 09 Yanks and the first two Giants teams would probably top the list. Do you think so? Since 2000, what's your feeling on that?
I'm gonna, I gotta go with the Yanks, of course. I mean, look, I'm biased. What am I gonna say? And
right.
Quite frankly, these Dodgers are starting to feel like the Buffalo Bills. Like so they better win. They better win this thing, man. They better. Right. And again, I'm in a rock and a hard place. And I was talking about this on Late Night with Gucci.
Nice.
Last Friday. One of my dear friends is the bullpen catcher for the Tampa Bay Rays. He spent 10 years in the big leagues, never made it, and found a life in baseball again. And he gets a World Series ring. He gets that 25, 30K. I don't know what. They're going to give him a nice chunk, though.
Right.
It's MLB. And I'm torn because, yes, I want to pull for the city I live in, the city the city I know, as Anthony Kiedis said. But at the same time, I'm pulling for my boy, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
We'll see. Right now, they're down 1-0 at the end of the fifth.
I just popped it on. I totally forgot.
Tough little situation here. Christopher Atkins says Miller's Crossing and State of Grace are highly overlooked.
Oh, I love both those films.
Yep, I agree, Christopher. Miller's in my top 5. I always put it in my top 5 because people don't talk about it too much. Introduced my girlfriend to it last week. First time she'd ever seen it. I said it was my birthday wish for her to finally watch this, and she fucking loved it. And it's a great, great performance from Gabriel Byrne, back when Gabriel Byrne could lead a movie. Albert Finney, Marcia Gay Harden is sexy as fuck in the movie. John Turturro, and John Polito, who never gets a chance to be like a main character in a movie.
Yeah,
is fantastic in the film as
That's
well.
What the Coens do, man. That's what the Coens do. Like they're like old world filmmakers. They go cast the guy at the bakery instead of like having an actor play him. Like it's like that post-war Italy, like how they shot movies. Like just go get your pedo up the street who works at the sandwich shop. Have him be in the thing. I love all those films. Like Umberto D. And I'm trying to think of all the good ones.
Yeah.
The Bicycle Thief was before. Was that pre-World War II?
Yeah, it's right. Yeah, I think it's 41. The Bicycle Thief.
So that's pre-World. Yeah, I'd say that's my favorite Italian film of all time. What's your favorite classic Italian cinema?
I think it has to probably be 8.5. I mean, just cop out a little bit. Yeah, Bicycle Thief. Actually, no, Bicycle Thief is 48, so it's right after the war.
Okay.
Let me see here. Let me take a look. Best Italian film F. Wow, that's a lot of choices. Cinema Paradiso, is that it? That's fucking Italian, isn't it?
That qualifies.
Gomorrah is Italian.
Yeah.
Ooh, La Dolce Vita, Il Postino. Those are fantastic fucking movies.
What's the one? It's the war movie that was filmed. Fuck, they shot and like bombed out Italy. I don't know, Rome, wherever they were. It's not. Is it? I think it's Umberto D.
Okay.
Let's look that one up. What is that one?
Umberto D. Yeah, it's an Italian neo-realist film.
Yeah, what's the plot line?
Police dispense an organized street demonstrator of elderly men demanding a raise in their meager pensions. Oh, it's a retired government worker returns to his room, find his landlady has rented it out for an hour to another couple to have sex. After she threatens to evict Ferrari at the end of the month if he cannot pay the overdue rent. Huh. All right. No, it doesn't seem like there's anything necessarily bombed out. So I don't know.
No, I'm trying. I mean, it was filmed probably right around the end of the war. But there's another one. I can't think of it. That'll come to me. I don't know. It's been a minute. But yeah, Bicycle Thief, I think, is probably one of the great top 5 for me all time.
Wow.
For sure.
I respect that.
Just the message in that film, and that movie breaks my heart every time I watch it. For sure.
The dad, right? The stuff.
Oh yeah. Originally, didn't they want to get like Clark Gable? No, was it Clark Gable?
Yeah.
They were trying to get like an American actor to play that part, and it was like, get the fuck out of DeSica. I think DeSica was the director of that film.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right,
I can't think of his first name, but yeah, we didn't come here to have a fucking chat on post-war cinema.
That's what I love about the show. It goes in all different directions.
Kaiser,
Ferris Muthana says, Kaiser, you are the man. There you
Ferris, go. You are the man. Ferris is a good dude. He's got a nice switchblade collection. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, Ferris has a nice switchblade collection. So
I know he's got a switchblade in his mouth, that tongue in his mouth. Red Panda says, love Road to Perdition.
Ooh, yeah, that's a damn good film.
Yeah.
I could see that being in anybody's top 3 for sure.
Right.
That's a dope film.
Let me see here. Somebody said Rome Open City. Is that
Open City? I think that's it. Open City. I think he's right.
Rome Open City. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember this one. They were talking about this one in Roberto Rossellini is the director.
Rossellini.
Isabella Rossellini's dad.
Yep.
1946, the film is. And yeah, I remember I was watching, there's a series on Hulu that goes back and explores European cinema. It's this Irish dude who narrates it and created it. And they focused on Rome Open City for about 10 minutes during their sequence talking about Italian film. I'd never even heard about it. And I was watching it. I'm like, fuck, man, sometimes I forget, dude, why I got into movies.
Watch that film, and I'm telling you, everybody in that movie is just a person, probably with the exception of the 2 or 3 people they need to push the narrative. It's pretty fucking amazing.
Gotta love it.
That's a good film, yeah.
Yeah, we got Smets coming in just a little bit. Let's hit some Streamlabs real quick, and then we'll move on.
Smash Man,
who are waiting to come in live to ask us questions. Rick Ganther says, gangster movies. I have to put Gangs of New York in there at number 3. Not conventionally considered a gangster film, but think about it. Then Casino at 2 and Godfather trilogy at 1. Don't cheat. Yes, I love 3. Andy Garcia, come on. Much love, Rocha and Kaiser. No, I can't give you that. I can't do that because you can't throw in 3 and just say Andy Garcia, because you can't eliminate Sofia Coppola, who's absolutely terrible in that movie and drags that movie down. Yes, every scene with Garcia is great, but Coppola is not good in that movie. And I can't give you Gangs of New York. Do you like Gangs of New York? I don't like Gangs.
Here's my problem with Gangs of New York.
Yeah.
The Daniel Day performance is polarizing, and I love the movie so much because of that and that only.
Yeah.
To me, what's her name from Something About Mary looks like she's playing. Looks like she's playing dress up. I love that chick, but not in that film.
Bro, she can't do drama.
It's just the third act of that movie. I just felt like I didn't give a shit, but it looked beautiful, and I respect the effort. And it pains me to say anything bad about Mr. Martin Scorsese, even though I'm not a big fan of The Departed.
Oh shit!
It pains me to say that, but yeah, I don't. It looked beautiful. Goddamn, if he didn't put together it looked like the Pirates of the Caribbean of old gangster movies. It looked like a ride.
That's for sure. Darth Fake 66 donated. He said, "Thank you guys. Great stories, Kaiser." There you go. And Soulshire 1999 said, "The Sopranos is king. What's a dream music biopic you'd like to see, gents? Band/artist, producer, even perhaps cast that flick. All right. He's asking, what's a dream music biopic you'd like to see and who would be cast in it? Yeah. Are you a big music guy, Kaiser? So do you have a little, do you have something in your head?
I mean, I would probably have to say Hank Williams Sr., the old man, the original Hank.
Okay.
Who lived a pretty troubled life. My favorite music biopic is Coal Miner's Daughter, because I'm a huge Loretta Lynn fan. Yep. I know that sounds like a joke coming out of my mouth, but it's absolutely fucking true. I got at least 6 Loretta Lynn albums. She's one of my favorite. And Sissy Spacek, she won an Academy Award for that role. Did. Tommy Lee in a very great supporting role as her husband, and phenomenal movie. I could go watch it right now. I mean, but that's my favorite. I'd say The Doors is probably number 2, a close number 2. Okay. But I'd like to see Hank's story told, because Hank was a rootin' tootin' son of a bitch. Yeah. I'd get what's his name who played Chris Ben Foster. I was gonna say play Chris his brother in the Heist movie.
Yeah.
Hell or High Water. Ben Foster as Hank Williams, I think, would just be gritty as all fuck. You get the guy, Scott Cooper, is that his name? Who did Crazy Heart?
Yes, Scott Cooper.
Get him to direct it. I think you'd be onto something there.
That's a great question. Wow, that's a great. I like that. Oh, shit. I don't know if I have one. Prince, probably. It has to be Prince. I don't know who you cast in it. Who can you find that exudes that kind of
John, it'd have to be a newcomer, like someone we've never seen before who blew us away, because that's the only way you're going to believe it. Because it's really hard sometimes to watch like Andre 3000 play Jimi Hendrix. Like nobody gives a fuck. They're like Lifetime movies. I'm sorry, dude. That Rocket Man movie, that kid gave a very good performance. I love Elton John.
Right.
That movie for me was not interesting at all. I'm like, this movie did not need to be made. I get it. It's shot beautifully. I love all the little Julie Taymor visuals and their little dance. And I bet if you're into musicals, you love that film. But I mean, it just didn't hold up for me, pal.
It's the same way I feel about whenever anyone does. Look, Marilyn Monroe. No one can capture Marilyn Monroe. No one.
Right.
Because the actresses nowadays are all waifs. They all have to be a certain size because producers and directors are still dicks about that kind of stuff. And there's really no one who's got, maybe Christina Hendricks, but she doesn't have that, like, I don't know. There was something really unquantifiably attractive and charming about Marilyn Monroe. You wanted to take care of her and sleep with her and respect her from afar all at the same time. And not everyone has that or can exude that. There have been some nice facsimiles, but you can't. The same thing here with Rocket Man. Like, Elton is such a uniquely interesting character, and Taron Egerton did a good job.
Yeah, very good job.
Essentially, good job, but it didn't quite live up to what Elton is, you know,
right?
And the angst that Elton carried his whole life.
When you bring up that movie, Marilyn, that was a good movie because I think it was like a moment in time, right? It just I think that's how you. I think that's how you become successful with these kinds. Like, don't remember they were trying to do Belushi with Emil Hirsch. I mean, I know what's his name from the Shield.
Michael Chiklis did Wired.
Chiklis played him in Wired, and it was a fucking trash heap. But it's like, you didn't cast nobody to play Belushi. Just go watch a Belushi movie. It's absurd. But in the case of like a movie like Marilyn, that's kind of seen through somebody else's eyes. It's a unique narrative, and I think those are the biopics that work the best. Don't give me the Freddie Mercury movie. Yes, the kid did great. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna be honest with you. I saw that movie in the theater, and I was like, the best thing about this shit is me feeling like I'm at a Queen concert right now. The story ain't, you know, wasn't so bowled over by the shit. Right. You know what I mean? It felt like color by numbers, like a coloring book of. And again, great performance. The kid deserved everything he got, but they don't do anything for me. Those movies traditionally.
That's fair point. Let me bring in Sean Berto real quick. He's going to tell people how they can come in live to ask questions. What's up, Sean? How are you, brother, man?
How's it going? Right over there, Karen. Right over there.
Right in there, Karen.
Right in there.
Right in there.
That's all right, Jimmy. That's all right.
Karen hurting?
Hey, no, just step down the way. Maybe from my mother. Maybe I'll get one from my mother.
Next time, Jimmy. Next time.
You know sure? Yes, I'm sure. I don't want my head blown off on a velvet fucking dress.
Oh boy, I can watch that scene all day, every day.
No. It's just straight over. He's got like papers and shit under his arm. Like just the choices that were made as an actor
like
just
this
so
the whole time.
brilliant. Yeah,
No,
like
right in it. No, right in there.
just Rocha, that's the money shit right there. I'm like, how much of that is Scorsese and how much is De Niro? It's so layered. So layered.
So basically, welcome Outlaw Nation. So if you guys are watching the show right now, please hit the like button. If you're watching us post, please also hit the like button and also leave a comment. It does help with the algorithm of the show. So basically, if you're a patron of the Outlaw Nation, the link to come into here live and ask Kaiser and John a question and Smash when he comes in is already in the Discord. If you are watching the show live and you're not part of the patron, what are you doing? The link will be put in the chat in a little bit. What are you doing with yourself?
If you don't become a Patreon, John, let me tell you what happens.
Yeah. Let me tell you what happens.
We get Mike and Tony over there. We take care of you.
Hey,
over there.
hey, you can't do accents. We can't do black voices or Jamaican voices. You can't do Italian.
I was born in Brooklyn. I
don't care who born in
Yeah. He's got a little Italian in him. I could see you. You're from Genovese.
You know, born in Brooklyn. You know, you can do it. That kind of stuff.
I got
anyway,
you.
So when you click on the link, it'll bring you to StreamYards.
Bring you to
StreamYards, and then it'll ask you to verify your mic and your headphones. Please try to use headphones because we might get an echo, and that sounds a little weird. Otherwise, it'll bring you into backstage. John will be able to see you, and he can bring you in at any time. Try to have one question ready so we can get through as many people as we possibly can.
Yeah. Well, all right. Thanks, Sean. Appreciate it. And let's.
I have a question.
Okay, make it quick. That's waiting to come.
So we've been talking about like some biopics recently. Would you guys love to see a George Steinbrenner biopic? I know I would.
That could be interesting.
I want to see a series just called Steinbrenner on HBO.
Oh, wow.
8-episode series. That's what I'd like.
You could have got Philip Seymour Hoffman to do
it. Yeah.
Now you got to get, what's his name? These Hoffman, Philip Seymour Hoffman Light, the kid from Breaking Bad.
Aaron Paul? Yeah, Aaron
No.
Paul.
The kid who the Nazis cousin. From The Master.
Yep.
Yeah, I heard you say.
I can't think of that boy's name.
But I would love to see a Steinbrenner biopic like him with Winfield and Mattingly, and then talking about like dealing with the Yankees when he got suspended, like when he came back, and like
Jesse
all
Plemons.
That stuff.
Thank you, D-Train. Jesse Plemons.
Yeah,
he could be a good Steinbrenner.
Yeah.
I'm down with that. It's great.
Because he's of age to play 70s Steinbrenner right now. You know?
Yeah. And you just make him up to do the older version.
Did you see the what was the one about the Reggie, the ESPN show?
The Bronx is Burning.
Bronx is Burning.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that was really great.
What y'all think about that?
I love that one.
I love that. Yeah.
Turturro, Billy Martin was pretty good.
The straw that stirs the drink. I'm the straw that stirs the drink. Reggie.
Reggie. Yeah.
My friend was the sports coordinator on that film.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Yeah, he was a guy who didn't make it in the big leagues either and ended up going into that sort of shit. But he said it was pretty wild. It was pretty wild shooting that movie.
I can imagine.
Wasn't the guy from Rescue Me? Wasn't he playing Reggie Jackson in that one? Daniel.
I've only seen a few episodes of that.
I don't recall his name, but he did a good job playing Reggie, though.
I think this is what his name. Daniel something. Forget what his
Rescue Me was a good show.
Would you guys want to see a Vince McMahon biopic?
Yes, Daniel Sunjata. That's who
Vince McMahon biopic. I think that could probably be. You got to give that to the Coen brothers, though. You got to give it to somebody like you wouldn't like. Don't it'd have to either be like a complete farce, like Seth Rogen directs it, or you got to give it to the Coen brothers and they just find something that should be in one period of time. It shouldn't cover his whole life. Maybe the story of when he bought up the territories and how that shit would be cool. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's almost like he's pulling a heist off, right?
Right.
There were all these different territories and he goes in and swoops them all up and makes the WWF what it is. So if you did that could be interesting.
Like a Showtime one.
Ooh, Josh Brolin as Vince, Alan Smithy. Not bad.
That could be interesting.
Oh,
All right, Sean, let me bring in Kevin. It's good to have you in. Thanks, brother. And if you got to
have a
take
good one, guys.
on the private chat. Thanks,
Hey,
man.
later. Good seeing you there, pal.
All right, let's bring in this man right now.
Oh,
So many people. Wait, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just say we have a Smasher sighting.
We have a Smasher sighting. I would say a Smusher sighting, but Smasher sighting coming in. Everyone's kissing this guy's ass now. You know, he was such a jerk off, such an a-hole for such a long time, but you know, he gets diagnosed with something. Now everybody loves him and wants to smash cancer. He's the former IG champ. He's a newlywed. He's a new dad. And he's one of the best dudes you're ever going to have the pleasure to know in life and be blessed to call a friend. And Kaiser and I are certainly two of the people who can do that. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our brother, Kevin Smets. How are you, brother?
Hey, fellas. Can you hear me?
Yes, Smash-o-matic.
Kaiser, you wiped your lens just in time because my first thing I was going to say is how do we take you seriously talking about gangster movies when you look like you have the Barbara Walters like soft focus on your interview?
I thought that was on purpose.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Put that on there.
What is that? Is that an Instagram filter you got going there? Or a beauty
I
filter?
realized, dude,
beauty box they call it.
I was outside freaking all day, and it's like just like schmutz from work.
By the way, they were going to do a Vince McMahon movie, and Bradley Cooper was attached to play Vince McMahon. If you look at Bradley Cooper's face and think a young Vince McMahon, and I think it will be talking about how he took over the territories, Kaiser. That was what the rumor was. But I think WWE Studios was going to do it. And so it's going to be total pro McMahon. They need to get an outside.
Cooper would be good. I think Brolin. Smith said Brolin. I like that pick better.
How you guys doing?
How we're doing, man. How are you doing? I mean, you're you announced your diagnosis on SCN Live last week. The fans immediately rallied around you with that hashtag Smash Cancer, and now there's all these benefits happening to try and raise money. The GoFundMe they're set up there. What's this experience been like for you, man? What do you feel like? Is this all so like surreal?
Yeah, I honestly didn't expect anything like it. I knew that I had to go on because I was going to start posting to my personal friends and family, and I have fans on there too on my Facebook. Yeah, and I wanted to get ahead of the story. I didn't want a fan to like look and then it's just a bunch of people in the group talking about it. So Christian was really great. He's like, yeah, dude, whatever you want. Like he told me like whatever forum I want. I'm like, just whatever I can do because I'm going to be posting this week about it. So, I went on the show. My goal was not. You could ask Kaiser. My goal was like, I'm not going to cry once, and I cried like 15 seconds in.
Of course.
Did not take long. There's the waterworks there. But it was really hard to do. And I kind of came out of that. I was telling Dasha, like, just complete weight off my shoulders because so many people would reach out, whether it's friends that I didn't tell yet or, even a fan, like, can't wait to see you smash next season and, get that belt back. And, like, I always felt I was kind of being just disingenuous to them, like, because I haven't kept them up to date. I've always been very open about, like, especially with something like this. When I found out the diagnosis, I went to, there's so many bad websites that you see that gives you a lot of bad info or scary stats.
Right.
And you got to kind of avoid it. But there are good resources out there too. There's a Facebook group that I joined that's like for people that have it. And, you got to wade through. You see some really sad stories, too, of people that are posting and they're saying, like, I got 4 months to live. I wish I knew sooner. And then you got other success stories. So you find those success stories. You see the really scary stories. And then you realize there was the prevailing thing was people weren't catching it in time. They thought it was something else. So it was important for me to go public because, and Kaiser gets mad at me when I say this. And so does Dasha. But like, whether my time is short here or long, I hope it's long. I plan on being it long, but if it's short, I want to make sure that the mark that I leave is that, I could convince people to get checked. And I have had probably over 50 messages, whether from friends, family, or fans through Twitter and stuff that have literally said, I'm going to get checked out, or, oh, I have a doctor's appointment now set for Friday. Like that's the stuff that makes it all worth it for me. And, you sit there and you say, like, why? I had a lot of anger when I first found out. I have my baby here. Like, I've just got married. The beginning of my life, like,
Right.
A lot of anger, and then that something happened with me, you know. And to be 100% honest, when I was growing up, I always thought I'm going to make a big mark in the world. First, I wanted to design my own theme park and be the next Walt Disney. I still have the theme park maps there. I have a great ride idea called the Legend of Waterfall Island. It's on an island. In order to get to the log ride at all to ride, you have to go on a dinghy in a foggy little lake with a animatronic skeleton taking you on the dinghy, and it's a scary ride to even get in line to go on the theme park or on the log ride. Had all these ideas. Thought I was going to be the next Disney. Didn't happen.
You probably shouldn't be letting these trade secrets on the air, because now Six Flags just stole your fucking ride.
Smash-a-thon.
Smash-a-thon.
The ad was going to say, do you dare cross the river, blah, blah, blah. If you do that, can you go over 3 different falls? And if that, you even get that far. And the log coming out of the top of the mountain was empty. Yeah. That would be the advertisement. But so that didn't happen. Then I was in film school, and then I thought I was going to be the next George Lucas. I have these scripts that I did, and I'm San Diego State, which is where Kaiser went to, and I'm like, I'm going to make these movies. I made a Civil War movie. I made a sci-fi movie. I'm going to graduate. I'm going to turn the Civil War movie into a feature, and then I'm going to be, and that didn't happen. So, there was a lot of disappointments, but along the way, I was like, I'm glad for these moments that didn't pan out, because I like the path that I'm at. I love my career. I love what I do now. I would not have any of the friends that I have now, even if when I was a child actor, if I got on Home Improvement, which I was a finalist for, I would not know any of the people that I know now, right? So sliding doors. But finally, it relates to the cancer, because you try to ask yourself, why? Like, do I have to suffer? Like, because right now for you guys to live, you have to breathe, you have to eat, and you have to drink water. That's all you have to do for the most part. And don't go to Vegas with Kaiser, because that will up your chances. But for me,
get an insurance policy before you do.
For me, I literally have to take pills that make me feel hungover or drugged out or cracked out every day. I have to go in radiation every day. If I don't live. So like, you ask yourself, why? Why do I have to pay these dues to live when other people don't? But then I realized the mark, when people started messaging me, it's like I've been doing my prayers in the radiation chamber in the morning, and that's kind of gives me strength. It's like when you're in that thing, it's like for 25, you go in that thing, you have plenty of energy in the morning. When you go in, it's like a sci-fi thing. When you come out of it, it's like your energy was literally sucked out of you. It's like if you're in there with 80% energy, you come out, you're like 35%. Kaiser's seen me before and after. It's like it wipes me out. So, but I started thanking God for this, because then I realized, well, that's my mark. I'm not going to have Waterfall Island. I'm not going to have the next Star Wars, but I love my life. I have my wife and my daughter, and I have my best friend, and I have all my friends, and I have the fans, and I have the Schmoedown, and I have this avenue. And this is the reason that you ask yourself too, I'm sure, Rocha, after heartbreaking losses, you're like, why do I do this? Yeah, sure. Christian has a plan and he wants us to blow up, but we're in the infancy of it, let's say. Yeah. And when you lose, and then all of a sudden all the fans turn on you, you're like, you have all this hard work, and it's like, what's it for? Right. But you realize you come up with other things, like when you do win, or the fans support, the fans telling you that that you inspire them, or that you see a fan with an Outlaw shirt and stuff, like that makes it worth it. Right. And then for me, it just dawned on me. I was like, if not for the Schmoedown, I wouldn't have had this platform. And this platform, for 2 reasons, obviously, is me spreading the word, and then B, the support from the fans completely. I'm on week 3 of my treatment right now, and it's been pounding. Radiation stays in me, so the radiation that was in me 2 weeks ago is still in me now, and now I have 2 more weeks on top of it. Right, so every week it's getting harder and harder during the week, But the outpouring of support from the fans is just believe it or not, you guys, honestly, it has changed my life. And to the fact, and I said, I'm trying to balance work. I'm also one of the few that have been lucky in working, which has gotten me a really good insurance. But that insurance, once I stopped working, by the way, that insurance is like, all right, peace out. So I've been, trying to just keep working right now. Right. And so it's been a lot. It's been a lot to balance. But the fan support, and then this GoFundMe. I originally said, well, I don't know about GoFundMe. I don't need anything. And it was Paul Preston who came to me, and he's like, brother, you don't think you're going to need it, but trust me, you're going to need it. And I was like, okay, like sure. And I set it up, and I'm
Right.
literally
He would know he'd been through it with Karen, right? Exactly.
yeah, he'd been through Karen, and with Craig too, like helping him out and stuff. It's like, when you go down that road, and it's like for me, I'm just announcing it, and I have all the piss and vinegar in the world right now. But honestly, next year, when I do the surgery, which I will, there's no way I'm not having surgery for this. So when I have the surgery, I'm probably going to be off work for like 2 or 3 months in recovery, which it'll be a brutal recovery if it's surgery that my doctors think. So it's tough. Sometimes your friend, and Kaiser too, they slap you and they say, hey man, like I know I've never been good. If you know me, I've never been good at asking for money or accepting money. Even when I was a fundraiser for the air marathon teams and the iron teams that I coached and was on, like, even though you're raising money for a good cause, you just feel so bad. It's like you all have your own bills and stuff to pay. So I'm floored by the outpouring of support, and Paul he said, like, you just don't want to worry about money. Christian told me that too. It's like, it's one thing you don't want to worry about. And honestly, when you see on the horizon, I'm going to have 3 or 4 months where I might not be working. And now this GoFundMe's there. We're literally now it's completely eliminated any worry for me about not working next year. You know what I mean? For that time when I'm down. And that literally, you guys, the fans, sorry, you guys, and I'm trying not to cry, but you guys, each and every
harder.
Don't cry.
You each one of you.
Be a bitch on here, Smets. You hold it in, goddamn.
Right.
The smusher. I thought I'm the smusher. Every single one of you, whether it was $1 or whether it's these huge donations that some from anonymous or some from people, you have no idea how much you literally affected my life and my wife, and given us something that a week ago we did not have, which was a little security. Because I was literally trying to think of ways, and Kaiser even told me, he's like, what are you trying to do? You crazy? Or I was like, okay, well, if I get Fridays off when I go on the hard IV, the IV chemo, I'll take Fridays off, and then I'll have Monday, Saturday, Sunday, and then maybe I'll have to have Monday off. Well, what show is going to hire me for like 3 days a week, So you guys have lifted me up. You have each and every one of you, and it's been crazy. And to such a point that I went out of my way to, and a lot of times in the waiting room for the doctor's appointments or whatever, but I went out of my way and wrote back to every single person who tweeted or Facebook, like I went through and made sure, to the point where Facebook blocked me for 24 hours because they thought I was spam. So I went on to I was commenting everyone, figuring out different ways. I didn't just copy and paste. So I said, thank you. For me, it was my way of letting them know, like, dude, like because I don't know any other way to tell you thank you. And I want to do it personally for each one. And then, Facebook blocked me for 24 hours. I couldn't do anything. So thank you it has been life-changing, John, both Johns. It's been life-changing. It's the weekdays are hard. Like I texted you, I even declined at first. I'm like, look, I probably got a good 20 minutes, 25 minutes. It compounds. And then in the micro, it compounds too. So like it compounds right now, where this Tuesday is definitely harder than the last Tuesday and the harder 2 Tuesdays ago. And I have the 3 weeks worth of that. But then in the micro this week too, it's like Monday is hard. It's the Tuesday is like, Wednesday gets hard. Thursday and Friday, by the 5th day of radiation in a row, it's brutal. And then I get 2 days off. So the weekends, Saturday's usually recovery, and then Sunday, when I've gotten to see Kaiser, who's been amazing and seen me almost every weekend since the treatment. You have every weekend to treat me again. Sundays are the only days where I feel normal. Like it's the only day of the week right now where.
Do you find having all that radiation inside you? Are you picking up cars?
Yeah,
I saw in a movie that you can do that if you get a lot.
Yeah, I'm waiting. Someone made it. Paul Preston made a joke to me. He was like, hey, the last, they always joke with you being the smasher with the Hulk references. And I'm literally getting radiation shot at me. So I should definitely try to pick up a car or something.
I'll believe it when you turn green, man.
Yeah.
Well, someone's here to pick you up as well. And we got to bring him in. He's also part of the dungeon. That's right there. It's Robert Parker.
Hey, there he is.
Oh, man.
Hello.
Look at this kid.
How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm here to ask you how you're doing. I just wanted to pop in for a sec and just say wish you the best and love you, man. Hope you're doing all right.
Love you, man. Yeah, it's tough, dude. The weekdays are tough. So I'm just glad I can muster some sort of energy because to be on the show, and just to like the last time everybody saw me was right after the announcement. Of course, Parker, I talked to you about it before the announcement and stuff like that, and you've been great. And same with John. I mean, you three knew before it went public or whatever. But and just to let I'm gonna try. I don't want my Twitter or my Facebook to just be a constant reminder that I have cancer. I will update with my thing, with my progress, just for friends and family, and but I'm glad that I can come on and tell you guys, like, even as the treatment gets worse, like I'm still here, I'm still kicking, and
we're still putting in parlays on Sundays, for football, and we're still eating chicken wings.
Will you tell Parker that it's 2020, he shouldn't have a toaster oven? Will you tell him that like there's other ways?
Hey, it was cheap and it works. I live alone.
Anymore, Parker.
I live alone. I don't need to make toast. I can make cheesy bread. I can make toast. I can make bagel. What more do you need, man?
That's it, dude. Cheesy bread and bagels. Fuck it.
I remember when
absolutely.
I gotta bail Parker out and take some of the heat. I still have. We have one too. I mean, we have a toaster too and an oven. But the toaster oven is just easy. If you have a leftover slice of pizza, you throw it in there, put it on toast, and then you have the crusty bottom and the hard bottom.
Now you're talking. That might be dinner tonight, man.
That sounds like half the pizza places I've discovered here in San Diego. It is not LA, ladies and gentlemen.
What part of San Diego are you in, John?
Burritos and Mexican food, bro.
My girlfriend won't let me say where we're actually living, but we are about 25 minutes outside of San Diego.
Okay.
Northern area of San Diego.
I'm curious. Because, if I want to come down that way, if I do, maybe I'll swing through for a...
Come with me, Kaiser, because I told him, because he lives in, I love suburban areas, and I'm always like, we got to go to Chili's, dude, because I'm a diehard Chili's. The chips and queso and a tall.
Yeah, I might be heading up that way.
You guys come down on a Sunday. We'll sit and watch football and eat all that shit.
I like that plan.
Definitely like that plan.
Parker, what's the update with you, man? What do you got going on? What's going on?
Not a whole lot. I have just been still working from home. Our company emailed us and was like, "Hey, you're not going to come back till the end of first quarter 2021." Wow. So they are taking it, and also like they're a global company, so they can't it's really hard to just because of geography they can't say like, oh, this like area can go back and this part can't, Right. So I'm still working from home, which is great. I roll out of bed 5 minutes before my shift starts. I cannot complain about living that life. I don't have to commute. I live alone.
Get in a quick Back to the Future movie before work.
Exactly, absolutely.
Parker, they're talking about their favorite gangster movies. The number one gangster movie of all time is Dick Tracy, right? So,
absolutely. It's either that or The Dark Knight. They're close.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give the edge to The Dark Knight just for the heist scene.
When was the last time you saw Dick Tracy, man?
In the theater as a kid.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I'm gonna tell you what, it's not worth to go back to.
I watched it during my rookie season. Before every match, I was able to almost watch two of most parts, even if it's skimming through it every movie. So I watched Dick Tracy 6 times in 2009. Oh my God. I was 5-1, 6-1, whatever I was. I don't remember.
Poor soul.
We're being bucked. Foot soldiers.
Good score though. It has a good score.
It does. I saw it 4 times in the theater because I just
believe you.
I love the visual nature of the movie. Yeah, it's not a great movie.
Beautiful. It looks beautiful though. It looks beautiful. You're right.
Yeah, Madonna was hot as hell.
Oh yeah, that's probably the only reason.
Wes Mahoney, dude.
Hey, Dustin Hoffman is wild in all the right ways. Dick Van Dyke, Kathy Bates. That cast is insane.
It was like back then, right? In those the '90s movies where you like Hook was a huge, and so you got like Julia Roberts and Robin Williams and all the big stars and stuff like that coming together for these big tent poles,
I mean, I wouldn't call Dick Tracy a tent pole, but also I wasn't.
It was a tent pole. Listen, I'm dating myself here. I'll never forget it. I was a child actor at the time, and so we would drive up to LA all the time. And the summer of Dick Tracy, when that came out, it was on the cover, I remember, on the Hollywood Reporter and on the Variety and on every billboard and every newspaper, and I was so excited for it as a kid. I just remember being on a commercial set for Raisin Bran where a F-14 flew over, and then he lands in front, and they built a house on an airstrip, and so the F-14 lands in front of us, and then the pilot gets out and says, I picked up Raisin Bran on my radar. And then we give him a bowl, and then we eat with the pilot on an airfield. But it was that summer of Dick Tracy, and I remember the set had all people from that set had worked on Dick Tracy, so it was a big deal, my friend.
Nice.
I just aged myself very.
That was Charlie Korsmo, wasn't it? Is that his name?
As the kid.
It's funny that Raisin Bran commercial's got a higher score on Rotten Tomatoes than Dick Tracy.
You say, it's not surprising though. It's really not.
Man, listen, we got a bunch of people coming in live. Can you hang out, Kevin and Parker, for a little bit? Are you guys good?
Sure.
Yeah,
I don't want to step on anybody's toes.
No, shut up.
Hang out.
On toes, shut up. All right, Smithy, what's up, dude? How
Hey,
you doing?
What's up, Smithy?
am I in here? How's it going, guys?
Good to see you, brother.
Dude, I'm with like half the dungeon right here. This is nice.
Yeah. And another piece of the dungeon next season, dude, right here.
Actually, Eric Zipper's outside your window right now. Look over your shoulder.
Were you pointing at this right here?
He's gonna be prepping for his tag team tournament. What are you doing? Go ahead, Smithy.
I'm wondering, have you guys seen the movie The Peanut Butter Falcon?
Yes, of course.
I have Kaiser's screener right now, so I have not. I need to watch that.
I interviewed the directors when I was at Collider. They're great guys. Great guys. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna watch that. I'll take a look. Even
good.
though
It's
it's
a beautiful movie.
Yeah, it's
But,
really good.
I watched
wanna
it
see
the
it.
first time the other day, and I just want to say, since we're probably limited on time, that I was watching. I'm like, wait, this is about like a guy who loves this wrestling thing and obsesses over it, and then he gets to eventually meet, and eventually he's like throwing Jake the Snake. You know, I don't want to give it all away,
Yeah,
but I was just saying I was relating to that because I love coming on your show, Rocha, and meeting you and all these guys. It's killer. I'm not throwing you guys out of the ring yet, but maybe someday.
You can try. You can try.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna beat cancer just so I can beat you, pal. How about that?
Yeah, I was saying
You could throw me pretty far. I'm light. If you get a good shot put stance in, you could get me pretty far.
Probably me too by the end of this treatment, dude. That's the one thing I'm coming out of this. I'm coming out of this with a six-pack. I'm gonna look like Brad Pitt from Fight Club, and I'm gonna hang on to that body.
All right.
I'll tell you that much.
Hey, Parker, when you saw the Peanut Butter Falcon, did you relate to it as someone who was in the fan league and then you got to become part of the show?
Yeah, I mean the movie's pretty like complex about like this kind of stuff it tackles, but
Right.
I didn't relate it a ton like to my Schmoedown journey. I was just kind of watching it as like, wow, this is like a great feel good movie. Like this is just a great sit down, hang out, like just watch a really like it is one of those movies that technically is not like, oh, that is a perfect film, but you watch it and you're like, man, this is one of the movies that makes me love movies.
That's cool.
So that's why I loved it so much.
It's endearing, man. You're gonna like it.
I love Shia too. Like I actually think he's a great actor. I know he has a lot of the off-screen antics, but I'm looking forward to seeing it.
So the Christian Bale.
Interviewed about his drunken arrest moment, and it was actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
His appearance on Hot Ones will
He's
really
turned it
be-
around.
It's great. Yeah, if you watch the Hot Ones appearance.
I'll take a look at Hot Ones. All right.
All right, Smithy, anything else?
No, hey, it's good to see you all again, and thanks for liking my Josh Brolin suggestion there, Kaiser.
I do. I think that's a good one.
I love you guys were talking about musical biopics.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Sid and Nancy.
Yeah,
That's
that's a
a
good
wacky
one.
one.
That's
But
a
I
real good
also, What's Love Got to Do with It is
Oh, yeah?
a
I
pretty.
never saw that.
That's
It's-
a good one.
It made me go like Tina Turner is a fucking badass,
Yeah.
Never saw that.
and
I love
she would
Tina.
get in the ring with that guy and kick his ass. You know what I mean? And
Well, here's a 5-pointer. Who plays Nancy in Sid and Nancy?
her name's Chloe something. I forget though.
Moretz.
What is that?
No, is it Chloe?
It's Chloe Webb. Chloe Webb.
Jeez,
right?
that's a pull.
What
She was in
Schwarzenegger film was she also in?
Twins.
Twins, exactly.
She was
Wow.
There you
DeVito.
go. Wow.
She was DeVito's girlfriend, right?
And, yeah, she was. And here's another crossover. What film with Bob Hoskins and Denzel Washington? She was in that as well. She played Bob Hoskins' girlfriend in that.
Heartburn.
Heart
No.
Condition.
Heart
Close.
condition. That's the only
Heartburn
movie I
Nicholson.
could. Oh yeah.
I
that's
still got it. I'm just saying, I still got
You
it.
still
All right.
got it. You
3
just
losses
got
in
it.
a row. I still got it.
You're going to be a
Got
great addition to the dungeon when in my stead. So
Yeah.
congratulations.
No, don't
All
say
Hey,
right,
that's not
Rocha.
tampering. I'm not in the dungeon right now.
Yeah, don't get
We're
me in
allowed to
trouble.
tamper on Rocha's show. This isn't like a typical SEN live.
I'm waiting till I get that text from Christian right now. You're
Yeah.
duck
Hey,
on traffic.
And my mom's in the chat. She says hi to Kaiser. Not for me, though.
Oh,
Hi, Mom.
Smash.
Oh, by the way, Kaiser, her trip postponed to next week. So we'll push the dinner to next week.
I'm gonna make dinner for the Smetses.
That's gonna be
I'm
nice.
gonna make my world famous baked ziti.
All right. Sounds good.
I've seen you make it on like a call. I've just watched you in your kitchen making it. That alone is a sight to behold.
It is, man. I've recorded it one day. I'm like, we're gonna do a segment like dungeon cooking. I don't know. Maybe there's something.
I think that'd be a great YouTube.
You gotta slice the garlic razor thin so it just liquefies in the pan.
Hey, Smithy, just so you know, real quick, if your brake line in your car's cut in the morning, don't blame Vinny the ice pick.
Oh, I just don't turn the key if I get a suspicious feeling. I leave that key and I just walk away.
Yeah,
that's a good call.
That's good call. All right, thanks, man. It's good to see you, brother.
Thanks,
Good to see you, man.
Guys.
Thanks for your nice messages, man.
Oh, hey, thank you, guys.
I read them all, dude. Honestly, I read every single one of them. You know, a lot of downtime when you're waiting for the machine and stuff like that. And so,
what you didn't know is that we're going to quiz you right now on the messages that people Parker came up with 40 questions.
1, 3 to 5, man.
Came up with 40 questions. John's going to ask.
All right, we're doing this Iron Man style. You ready? Here we go.
All right. When Janine wrote her first message, how many?
Let's bring on Brennan. Brennan, what's going on?
Hey, hello, guys.
Hey, brother.
Hey, Smets, here's wishing you all the best.
Oh, thank you, dude. I appreciate it.
So my question is, what's a movie you guys like that you don't think gets enough love from everybody else? My recent one is The Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, Jesus.
That's a good pick. That's a fair pick.
All right, fine.
I could fight with. We're gonna have a big fight, me and Parker right now. But I think Man of Steel is one of the best Superman movies ever made.
Agreed. 1,000%.
Parker hates it. Parker hates it.
Hate is a strong word.
I think it's okay.
Richard Donner copped out
like
that
it.
original Superman. He copped out.
Yeah,
Never
yeah,
showed
yeah.
him in high school. Only one scene. Give me a break.
I don't know, man. That Donner film's pretty damn good.
Let me
Which
tell
one are
you
you talking
something.
about, Smets? The one with Spacey playing Lex?
No.
The first Cavill one.
The Cavill one, where there's like 4 9/11s at the end, and
Wait, the one with
Henry Cavill.
yeah,
and Amy Adams.
and then his dad was
Kevin
Costner.
Costner, yeah.
That scene just made me angry. He's sitting there and a tornado's coming. Like, I'm Superman. I'm stopping that fucking tornado and saving my dad. I don't care what he likes.
But no, you don't want to reveal yourself too early.
Yeah.
All right.
We're only a half hour into the movie.
But I'm talking in real life, Parker.
You
in
know
real
what?
life.
I think I'm thinking of a new show right now.
I got your answer, Brennan. My
Right.
movie that I love that I don't think gets any goddamn respect is Joe versus the Volcano.
Love that.
Oh, yeah. Tom Hanks.
What's that
I
song
have
in the
not
opening?
seen
It's a 5-pointer. What song? There's a song at the opening of that movie. I remember seeing it in the theaters with my dad, so I remember that song. Like,
I owe my soul
sold to the company.
Something,
Yeah, that one.
something.
16 something, and what do you
16
get?
tons. Yeah.
16 tons.
I think that might be the name of the song, John.
That's right. It is the name of the song. Roger Miller is the singer. 16
There you
tons.
go.
I remember him in high school, Roger Miller. We hung out all the time.
All right.
Well, you got one. You got one.
Yeah, Parker.
Yeah, so for me, if we're doing like IG kind of thing, it's the Hobbit trilogy. If we're
That's my brother talking right
yeah,
there. Go ahead.
if we're outside of that, it's something that I've watched recently for the first time that there was so much stigma around that I actually really, really enjoyed, and that's Prometheus. I really liked that movie.
All right.
And I know a lot of people, like, obviously, like, there's the whole ruin, like, the final act, like, I understand the dislike
kinda
for it,
liked
but
it
I
too.
really liked that
I
movie.
kind of liked it too, actually, bro. I'm with you on
But
that.
see, I appreciate when people like movies and then they don't like force their pick. So you know what Kaiser does? Yesterday to my wife, or on Sunday, I'm excited.
Oh, do I want to know?
No, that started out bad. You know what Kaiser did to
Do
my
I
wife?
want to know this?
That's not what I meant. Oh, God.
Well, Kevin was away at treatment. Let me tell you what I did.
Oh my. Oh
Listen.
my.
Listen, when she's never seen Jurassic Park, and I'm kind of on a Jurassic Park kick, and I'm like, oh, I want to show her Jurassic Park. And Kaiser, instead of just shutting his face, and he turns over and he just like before she saw the Winter Soldier movie, he's like, "Oh, the Winter Snow Dozer, I hate that movie." He turns to Dasha and he's like, "Jurassic Park, you'll never see a better movie, but every movie after that is trash." And I'm like, I like some of the movies after that. And I'm like, now I'm gonna have that excuse to not want to see these movies. So thanks a lot, pal.
And that was an excellent Michael Keaton impression.
Yeah.
You know what I discovered, by the way, and because I can barely do anything, I can barely move usually by the end of the nights. Finally started watching The Boys, and we're 2 episodes in, and that is awesome. Even my wife loves it. Like,
it's a good show, man.
I did the first one. I liked it. I did like it. I just finished The Watchmen, bro. Mingya.
The show? Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Loved it,
Watchmen is extraordinary.
The writing is brilliant.
Yeah, I know that too.
Wait till you get to season 2, Smets. Aya Cash is incredible.
Who's the actor that plays Homelander is so creepy.
Anthony Starr. Yeah, he's a new deal.
So good, dude. Like it is freaky and like we're only 2 episodes in, so I have no idea. And I love Carl Urban and the way he talks. Like it's just hilarious.
Get ready, and that's Quaid's kid, right? It's Meg
and you can tell when he smiles.
Insane.
I never knew that in the Hunger Games movie. I always recognized him as the Hunger Games, but when he smiles, he totally just turns into like Randy Quaid smile.
Absolutely.
Or Dennis Quaid, not Randy.
Dennis Quaid. All right, Brendan. Thanks so much, dude. It was good to see you,
guys.
Good seeing you, Brendan. Take care, brother.
Bye.
All right, let me run through some Streamlabs and Super Chats before we let go of everybody here. We're tight on time here, so I want to make sure before Kevin gets too tired here. All right, here we go. Daniel Haygood says, I can't wait to get Kaiser thoughts on La La Land. LM, laugh my ass off. Haskell, please. Haskell 420 says, hey, John, and welcome, Kaiser. So many epic gangster movies. One, Once Upon a Time in America with De Niro and James Woods, all-time favorite. #Smash Cancer. Yeah. Thoughts on that one real quick? Anybody?
God, I haven't seen that in 1,000 years. I don't even remember it.
Sergio
I was going to mess with you guys and say that Gangster Squad was my favorite movie and try to stick by it and just be like, no, it's my favorite.
Squad.
That's with Ryan Gosling, right? And
Sean Penn.
Shit.
Sean Penn's horrific in that movie. Horrific in that movie.
Here's my thoughts on La La Land. It should have never been released. It should have never been released. Next question.
I agree with you.
Are you going to tell Dasha that before she wants to pop it in the DVD player or the Blu-ray player?
Stop talking about movies around me and your wife together.
You know what he did? You know what he did? She's doing an MCU rewatch with me when I was prepping for the title defense, and we're outside. I forgot what we were doing, and he was like, "Oh, so what movie are you on?" I'm like, "Civil War," and you're like, "Oh, is that the one where you find out that the Winter Soldier killed Tony's parents?" Right in front of Dasha. My friend, dude.
That is the most Kaiser thing in the world.
Yeah.
That's the one where
he's like, well, she doesn't know. He's like, she doesn't know who the parents are yet. I'm like, Kai.
It was at this point.
I like that Sebastian Stan. Good actor.
Yeah, it's good stuff. All right. Coulter Torex says, as for the World Series, Cubs not in it, so I don't care. Learned a lot of about Kaiser tonight using that last of my unemployment card. Scarface rocks. Only best wishes for Smets. Best Jeff Bridges movie. What's your best Jeff Bridges?
Ooh-wee.
Gettysburg. Mic drop.
Jeff Bridges isn't even in Gettysburg. Jeff Daniels is in Gettysburg.
Oh, wait. Jeff
Get
Bridges.
out of my league. You can stay in the IG.
Hey, I blame the chemo on that
Get
one.
out of my league.
When in doubt.
There
I asked my oncologist, I was like, so Thanksgiving, like that's near the end of my first round of chemo. Like, am I going to, with pre-existing conditions, not to bring it down real quick, but I was like, like with this condition, like, could I be around family? I really want Dasha, and her mom's coming out from Russia. I want her to experience like a Thanksgiving with my family and stuff. And my oncologist was like, yeah, you're fine. I mean, he's like, listen, you should be okay because it's near the end of your first round. He's like, but if you want to ever use it as an excuse to not hang out with your family, you could always say that, I can. It's the chemotherapy. I'm going to blame that. Jeff Bridges.
Yeah, Jeff Bridges. You got 2 excuses, the kids and chemo now. Both the kids and the chemo. Yeah.
# blame the chemo.
Can you, I mean, it's got to be Lebowski. It's got to be the number one Bridges film.
Yeah.
I put Fabulous Baker Boys in the conversation. I think he's incredible in that movie. And not a lot of people say, hey, that's your answer to the question earlier. People give no respect to that movie. Yeah, it's one of the best.
I don't even remember that movie.
Yeah, it's one of the best performances for both Michelle Pfeiffer and Jeff Bridges.
I love Michelle Pfeiffer.
They're sexy as hell in that movie.
I mean, Hell or High Water.
Hell or High Water. Yeah, it's either that or True Grit for me.
I like True Grit. Thank you. That's good.
Oh, True Grit's a great choice.
Let's talk about our Jeff Daniels movies so then I don't feel like an asshole.
Jeff Daniels? Jeff Daniels has got to be The Martian.
Really? Okay.
Oh,
Dumb and Dumber.
He's good in that. I like him in Gettysburg, and I'm a sucker for Gettysburg and
great.
Gods and Generals. Like I like both those movies.
Did you like Gods and Generals too? I didn't.
I mean, I love the score. Like the music is.
All right.
In my KOTOR movie, I used the score from Gods and Generals as the main love theme for the two protagonists. And in 2015, I'm at a dinner party, game night party. Right. And I remember there's keyboards and guitars and everything. And then because no one really knows that much about the composer of Gods and Generals, but of course I do, because his score I used for the KOTOR movies, like as a thread line, and I would intercut it with Star Wars music. And sure enough, the person's house that I was at was John Frizzell, who's the composer of Gods and Generals. So I geek out. And then I tell him how I repurposed his Gods and Generals music for a Star Wars Machinima video game movie. And he wanted to see a scene. I showed him a scene with his music, his long-forgotten music probably, in a Star Wars movie. And he was flattered. I'm probably going to hear from his lawyers one day. But he was really nice.
I like Steve Jobs for Daniels.
Oh, I forgot about that. I forgot he's in that. That movie's incredible. No, that's my
good film.
That's correct.
Squid and the Whale as well.
Oh, Arlington Road for Jeff Bridges too. That's a good one.
Arlington Road, right? Yeah, that's a good one. Crazy Heart for Jeff Bridges. That's a good one.
That's definitely in the top three.
Yeah,
Daniels is great in the newsroom.
He is. That's peak.
There's so many shows I haven't seen. I haven't seen the Newsroom.
You got to do West Wing first.
West Wing first, then Newsroom. Brian Brawler said, "Who are some supporting actors that you were surprised haven't got a chance to lead a movie?" I mean, this is in the conversation we were talking about Miller's Crossing, how John Polito, in essence, is the main villain of the movie. He rarely gets a chance to be the lead in a movie. He's fantastic.
While we're on Hell or High Water, Ben Foster. Yep. I mean, I know he doesn't get many stars.
That was his biggest one, really.
Right.
Yeah, I think he's a freaking beast on screen. He reminds me of like old school Method Brando. Like,
definitely got that
really about him, man.
310 to Yuma, he's chilly. He's terrifying.
Hey, fellas, I'm gonna have to duck. Don't stop on my account, but I'm gonna have to duck out because.
Are we hitting that wall? Are we hitting that wall, brother?
Yeah, for me, just sometimes little waves of.
Can I bring in one more person? For you?
Yeah,
okay.
Of course.
Let's bring in Jake Yakoveta from the Action Army here.
Yeah, he is. Sure.
He's got an announcement he wants to make. He has to come in. What's up, Jake?
Look at that,
repping the Smash.
Boy.
You're
Turn
muted.
your mic on. You're muted. You're muted
yourself,
Jake.
I was out.
I'm good.
There we go.
All right.
What's up, brother?
Come in. Say what up to everybody. Actually not give Kaiser shit for once because he helped us with something that we're doing to help out Kevin. We're going to be doing on November 14th and 15th. We're calling it the Smash-a-thon. It's going to be a 25 plus hour stream.
Wow.
It's going to be a fundraiser for Kevin and all of the reactor channels, a bunch of competitors. Everybody's going to be involved. We got the Gucciverse, PJ Campbell Network, Call to Action, Certain Point of View, Mount Schmoedown, Let's Get Ready, Cinefanatics.
We got Dan Rather.
Frank, everybody's getting involved in this. And we're going to be having different segments. We're going to be doing interviews. We're going to have like a mini Schmobates. We're going to be playing games. We're going to do a Family Feud thing. It's just going to be.
We're going to watch Rocha beat up his landlord when he tells him to try and pay the money on time. He's like, get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah, it's just going to be an entire day's worth of fun. All the proceeds are going to go to Kevin and Dasha and Kira, and we just hope y'all could check that out. John's going to be a part of it. Kaiser's going to be a part of it. Parker's going to be a part of it. So I just wanted to plug that real quick.
I'm going to be the special musical guest. I'm coming in like Sammy Davis Jr. I'm going to do Broadway songs.
Rocha,
it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
That sells. That sells. I'm just hoping we can get a side fund going for me to get a riding lawnmower. We'll see. If we go under the number.
25th hour is when Rocha
maybe
announces.
I can get a new John Deere.
John Rocha announces his intention to join the dungeon next season.
John, he's leaning on you, kid. He's leaning on you.
I know, he's leaning on me hard. Yeah.
Elbows on you.
You can't laugh at your situations. It's really shitty. And I texted Rocha at one point something along the lines of, well, now that I have cancer, you have to join the dungeon. I was like, you have to now. Like, I have to, you have to replace.
Your doctor's like, you can manipulate people with it.
Very dangerous power you've been given.
I could only use it to get out of family functions with the in-laws, I guess. But, Jake, I heard about this, and again, I mean, I'm floored. Ben did a stream over the weekend. So did Alex Damon, like raising money, and like again, it means so much to me because it is a very scary thing going into the unknown, and what you guys are doing is just eliminating something that you know what I mean? You're eliminating a huge part of it. You're literally lifting my family up. You know what I mean? And so just floored by all the support by everyone. And just the fact that like a 25-hour stream or whatever is just crazy.
It's probably going to go long.
I can't thank everybody enough. Everybody who's already done streams, everybody even who just types in the word Smash Can, just the spreading the word about the awareness and stuff. Like it just means a lot. I can't put it in it's really hard for me, like, 'cause then I'll start getting the waterworks, but it's really hard for me to talk about it so much. But just I hope everyone knows how appreciative I am. I even tell Kaiser, I'm like, I hope you're telling the fans too. Like, and Kaiser knows because he's with me in the trenches. He's driven me up. So if you see the movie 50-50, which is a great movie, by the way, with Seth Rogen and
Love it.
Jordan
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. You know, it's a great movie. And at first, Kaiser almost reacted the same way as Seth Rogen in that movie, where he's like, no, that's fucking bullshit. And like, you know, that anger. And then Seth Rogen, like Kaiser has done so much for me, taking me to appointments, coming by, keeping my spirits up. And there's a great scene in 50-50 where you, and it's not, I don't think it's a spoiler scene, but it's one of my favorite scenes is when the guy who has Joseph Gordon-Levitt doesn't like realize how much the Seth Rogen character really is caring about him, and he goes to the bath. He takes Seth Rogen's home because he's too drunk and puts him on his couch, and he's in the bathroom, and on the bathroom stand is a book. It's like How to Care for Your Friend Who Has Cancer, and there's highlighted passages and notes and stuff. And like, I'm not saying that Kaiser has a book on that, but Kaiser has literally been.
Kaiser can't read.
Yeah, Kaiser can't read. He doesn't care. He's like, well, can I pick you up? I've had to say no sometimes because sometimes I just want to put my head down and just get this out of the way, you know. So he calls me every day, like, do you want to ride to treatment tomorrow? He's giving me a ride to treatment tomorrow, actually, literally. So, and it's early in the morning. And this guy, I'm asking, you know, Kaiser, he's been great. The fans have been great. Every single one.
He's up because he finished working the tables. It makes sense. It makes sense.
John, I haven't been to bed already.
It makes sense. That's awesome, Kevin. Much love. This is when you can go to your bathroom break when Saul comes on with John Sullivan, Rachel Silvestrini. Yeah, right. I love busting this kid's balls. Good to see you, Saul.
Saul left me a really nice voice message too. That it was equal parts encouraging me, but also wanting me to get better, so then he can beat me in the IG. So I love it.
That sounds about right. That sounds about right. All right, Jake. Anything more? Or do you want to? Or are you good?
I do want to. I mean, we're not doing this from like one channel or anything, so no one entity is driving this. Yeah. But I just want to give a lot of love to Kaiser, to Sean Sullivan, and to Kristen Smith for putting most of this together and bringing us all together to be able to do this.
You guys are great. Sean Sullivan texted me. He's actually one that knew too before the announcement, because him and Jill, they came up and visited a couple weeks before my diagnosis. And, you know, and Rocha knew because I was making jokes about getting a colonoscopy, you know, like it's an easy low hanging fruit joke to be like, oh, I'm going to have someone stuck up my ass. And, you know, so like,
I told
Sean from the beginning, it was just like, when he was like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, as far as this is before the GoFundMe and stuff. And I'm like, I don't know, man, like the Colon Club, if there's like the Colon Club is this great, or colonclub.com is the site that I discovered when I was looking for answers, and they were really helpful to me. Like when I posted the message board and stuff, I was like, let's donate to them. And he's like, listen, we want, the fans want to help you, you know what I mean? And so I know that Sullivan, I'm like, I know his fingerprints are all over it, and I love the guy. So I'm going to be making definitely Christian. You know, he announced it on Send Live, so I guess he announced on Send Live. I can show the image. He showed the image today.
Is there a shirt? Is there a shirt?
It's a shirt. Look at this design, guys. He did show this on Send Live, so I'm not getting in trouble.
Okay.
You can't really see.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Nice. It goes down a little bit. And he's gonna, and those proceeds, any proceeds, I already talked to Christian about it. They're going to me, but then the proceeds are going to Colon Club. So I'm going to give back too, as much as you guys have been giving to me. And it's very important that I want to pay that forward to the one when I was literally falling. There was someone to catch me when I couldn't tell anyone, just me and Dasha knew. And it was this website called Colon Club. And they're focused on cancer patients or grazing awareness for people 45 years and younger. That's actually what they focus on. So the t-shirt, he said on Send Live today, he was like, it's going to go to Kevin, but I want people to be aware the t-shirt that's going to be going towards the Colon Club. So I'm going to be making it in the name of the Schmoedown family stuff. But
that's awesome. That's awesome.
I also want to shout out to Janine the Machine.
Yeah, that's literally the next thing. We made that too. Look at that.
Nice.
Yeah, I was texting with her that today. So I mean, that's also such a badass freaking logo. So I love Janine and
that's great. Yeah, she's fantastic with that stuff with her designs, everything like that. It's incredible. So there you go. Everybody fucking loves you now. How nice is this?
Yeah,
you lousy son of a bitch.
The only way I can go heel is if I go on stage and I'm like, this whole cancer thing was a joke. I didn't have cancer and I spent all the money. That's not
surprise.
I wish that was the story. That would be fantastic.
It'll be a better narrative.
It will be. You're going to climb out of this thing. Everybody's behind you. Everybody loves you, man. But also be fair to yourself, man. When it's too much, you need to make a joke of it, or you need to cry or go crazy. You know, my dad for 2 years suffered through this shit. I understand how tough it can be. Cut yourself a lot of slack, bro. You're going to go through a lot of things. That's the best thing you can do is cut yourself a lot of slack. Don't judge yourself and just process it as it comes and goes. And all of us understand. So all of us will be there if you need to reach out or whatever, brother.
Thanks, man. Look, I was really hesitant about tonight because I don't want to ever come up on here and look weak or like, I don't like something, you know what I mean? Like, but I'm glad I came on.
Me too, brother. Good. We're very kind. Yeah. We're very kind
to see Parker and Jake and all the fans. So
right on. All right, you gonna go rest?
Yeah, I gotta go. Okay. But I love you guys, and again, thank you. And that stream sounds amazing, and.
That's November 14th and 15th. Don't forget, people. Put it in your calendars now.
Yes.
November 14th and 15th, 25 plus hour stream. So many people are going to show up. A lot of the competitors and almost all the after shows are going to be a part of this thing. So it's exciting and a positive thing to do.
And remember, on hour 25, Rocha announces that he's going to go on the London.
Right.
Bye, guys.
Right.
Love you, Kevin.
Peace. There you go. All right. Thanks, Jake. Good to see you, brother.
All right. Yeah.
Much love,
later,
bro.
Always good to see you.
Thanks for doing.
For once, it was good to see Kaiser.
Thank you. I'll take anything I can get.
All right, what's y'all's situation? Y'all got to go. I understand if you got to go, but I got people waiting and some Streamlabs and Super Chats. Let me know what you're.
No, I just need a bathroom break and.
Okay.
Can you do the Robert Parker-a-thon while I'm
I'm good. I'm gonna sit
down. Can you hold? All right.
I'm good. Hell yeah.
Let's run through things, Kaiser, while you do that. All right, cool.
Kaiser, is it a 1 or 2? Oh, he's gone.
All right. Rick Anther said, okay, well, apparently I had a hot take on the gangster film. So here's another one. Val Kilmer was a better Jim Morrison than Jim Morrison. Come at me. A David Bowie / Iggy Pop relationship film would be a great music biopic. Any thoughts on that, Parker? Do you know that?
I'm going to say this. This might be a shock to y'all. Iggy Pop before my time.
Yes.
So I could not say one way or another on that one.
But there is a David Bowie biopic coming called Stardust with Johnny Flynn, who, if you guys remember Johnny Flynn, he was in Emma recently, last year, I think it was, and or earlier this year. I got a chance to sit down with him, interview him. He was knee deep in shooting Stardust, and he just spoke so highly of it. Got a screener link the other day, so I'm definitely going to take a watch and do a review of it for sure, and maybe get a chance to interview him again, which would be a lot of fun. Awesome. All right, let's see here. Rick Anther said, again, this is a Sean appreciation donation. Love his input here, and especially on the Impolite Truth Show. In the spirit of spooky season, What's your favorite modern horror director? I've got to go with Mike Flanagan. Yeah, what do you think there, Parker?
That's a good question. Horror is not really my genre, but I would say maybe the couple Fede Alvarez ones I've seen, I've really liked.
Yeah.
And then James Wan, because I love Saw, and some of his stuff that's come after.
Right.
But I've only seen maybe 2 Fede Alvarez movies, but the ones that I have seen, I've really enjoyed.
Okay. I got to throw Alexander Aja in there. I really enjoyed Crawl. Saw it recently again. Really enjoyed what he's doing. And not a lot of people talk about Alexander Aja as much as they talk about others. But Robert Eggers with The Witch, I really enjoyed what he did with that as well. And I really like what he's put forth. The Lighthouse was fantastic. So those two kind of put me in the right frame of mind. That kind of horror I can get into for sure and enjoy. Let's see here. Tuska Production says, I would gladly donate to the Kickstarter for Smasherland. So excited to ride Smash Mountain, Smash of the Caribbean. These Smasher ride names are quickly sounding like porn titles of movies directed by Kaiser. Much love to you all. Hashtag Smash a Cancer. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Fair point. Fair point.
That's you got it. That's true.
Rockin' Movies with Tyler says, Smash-a-thon coming to the Gucciverse. What I'll donate, you'll know then. Hashtag Smash Cancer. Hashtag Turn into Hamburg. Hashtag Dungeon Head for Life. Hashtag Action Army. All right. So is that a separate streaming thing?
No, I think they're doing a special episode. I don't know if I should say this or not. They're doing a special episode of the Gucciverse during the stream as part of the stream.
Yeah, I don't. All right, fair, cool. All right, Suge Knight donated again. He said, "Just wanted to say we love you, Smasher, and we're all behind you." Shout out to Parker, who is also amazing. Hashtag Smash Cancer. There you go.
He's pretty good too, that Parker kid.
He's a good guy.
Pretty good too.
And much love to Suge Knight and what he's dealing with his mom. I hope we've gotten some positive news there, Suge, for you and your family. So giving you much love, brother man. Alan Smithy says, thanks again, Rocha, the Dungeon crew. Love meeting you guys. See you next time. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Smithy.
Ben Rayner, Superman Returns with Brandon Routh gets too much hate. Also, Spider-Man 3. Smasher, you're going to beat this. Hashtag Smash Cancer. I'm sure I'll tell him that. Do you guys think he gets too much hate? Superman Returns?
I like Superman Returns. I actually like that movie quite a bit. It's long, but I also have just never been a Superman fan. So that's one that I can kind of get into a little bit. Spider-Man 3, that's a wild take, though.
Yeah, I can't. What about you there, Kaiser?
Honestly, when I was a kid, I liked the original Donner flicks. I don't think I've seen a Superman movie past 2 that I really cared about.
Right.
I barely remember that one. I saw it once in the theater. The one, which one is it? What do they call it?
That's the one. That's the spacey one.
It returns. Superman comes. He goes. Superman this, that. I don't remember the names. I don't remember the names of any of them, but I do like the Helen Slater Supergirl movie.
Supergirl, right?
Yeah, I'm down with that one.
Supergirl, really? That's the hill you're gonna die on?
I like Helen Slater, bro.
Hey, it's Helen Slater, bro.
Well, never mind. I can no longer poke any holes in the argument. You got me.
Secret of my success, bro. Secret of my success.
Oh yes,
Helen Slater.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
Superman alimony. Someone just said. See, that's what I'm saying. I can't keep track of them all.
Superman alimony. JJ_Windward says, "Hey everyone, Rocha, thanks for recommending Session 9. Yeah, it was great. And Kaiser, I think The Exorcist might be one of my all-time favorites. Now that was phenomenal. Smets and Parker, can I get a horror movie pick from each of you? Unfortunately, Smets had to dump out, but love you all. Hashtag Smash Cancer. Yeah, Parker, you got a suggestion there?
I would say if you haven't seen it, one that I saw maybe a year or two ago that I really loved was Green Room, which is one of the last Anton Yelchin movies. It's got Patrick Stewart. It's got like surprise Nazis. It's a really, really fun movie. I'm not big into like the I'm not big into sort of like the paranormal, like jump scare style horror. I'm much more on the thriller side of things. So it kind of toes the line a little bit better for my taste, at least.
Surprise, we are the Nazis. Surprise.
Yeah. Oh, we are skinheads. Aha, we got you. Yeah. That's a line from that movie.
I need to see this movie. It sounds actually.
Oh, it's actually really good. It's like a punk band that gets hired by these secret skinheads, and they like lock them in the green room for an hour. Oh, it's good.
Yeah, I've heard good things.
Yeah, I was sent that for my birthday from one of my patrons because he was mad that I hadn't seen it. So he sent it to me on Blu-ray. So I'll be watching that at some point very soon.
I like that movie a lot.
Let's see here. 50 Shades of Geek says, I almost feel sorry for the cancer considering how badly Kevin's going to smash it. Kevin, you're the best, and you're going to beat this thing, no problem. Much love from the guy who made the Believe in Me video for you last year. Hashtag smash cancer.
That was sick, dude.
By the way, Kevin Smets just texted me and said, Rocha, that was nice, man. Sorry I had to cut out, but my brain was kind of slowing down, but I'm so glad I did it and made my night. Thanks again.
You'd never know it. You'd never know his brain was slowing down.
I know.
I think he's still talking. I think he still thinks he's being interviewed.
I think he's still watching it for sure.
He probably is.
All right, let's bring on. I've got 3 people waiting to come in real quick. Let's get in. Guys, have one question, please. We got to wrap up here in the next few minutes. Daniel Haygood, what's up, dude? How are you feeling, brother? What's going on? Is your mic on? Okay. All right.
He's like, hold on, I'm being held hostage.
There you go. You're back.
There you go.
Like, call 911.
Anyways, I was just about to light a joint, but anyways, glad you got
Nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
Kaiser, you need a new lawyer.
You know why? You have beef with Leopoldus?
I've seen this guy Leopoldus. I don't think he could defend the broadside of a barn. I don't know.
What, do you have information I don't know about my lawyer?
No, I just, some ethical violations that you may not be aware of.
You might need to send me something. I mean, you got to understand, you can't beat the guy's price.
He gives me my cousin Vinny, but he never passed the bar kind of vibes.
Oh, all right. Well, look, I can vouch for him passing the bar. That much I know he has done. Also, I know I've never gotten a better price from any lawyer I've ever worked with. Yeah. That means I don't always have to pay him in money. You see what I'm saying? I just work out a deal. Maybe I send him a couple bags of lawn mulch to do up his home garden. Pay him in that. You know what I mean? Maybe I send him a trunk full of booze or cigarettes or something I found on the back of a truck. He accepts it. So I mean,
there you go.
But I'd be interested to hear if you have some dirt on Leopoldus, please.
Well, actually, now I think I could learn something from this guy. He seems to know how to get ahead.
He's pretty good.
You got any question, Daniel? What's your question?
Oh shit, I forgot my question.
I think it was about my lawyer is a regular a guest appearer in the Gucciverse.
Oh, nice.
So you'll see Mr. Leopoldus will pop in from time to time, give legal advice, do his thing. So
yeah. There you go.
So cross promotion going on. I really didn't have a question. It's just kind of fun to hang out with you guys a little bit.
Okay.
I guess for Mr. Parker, you kind of rose up from the fan leagues yourself, right?
I did. I spent many years there, and I still hang out with a lot of those people there, honestly.
Yeah.
Right on. What do you think of this guy Collins then coming up? I mean, Rocha probably has his thoughts. But
listen, Parker gave me he sold me bad information on Collins. He said, he's good. He's he's probably going to focus in on one thing, but he's good. You can beat him, though. You can beat him. And he TKO.
You can beat him is bad information, apparently.
TKO.
Collins is a good guy. I had never really talked to him. He kind of came into the fan leagues right as I was leaving, as far as playing. So I didn't interact with him personally a whole ton, but I'd watched all of his matches. I mean, the guy's solid. Like, there's nothing that I could look at and be like, oh man, I know that this is his huge weakness, Rocha, just because he doesn't have one. But he's solid. I am not surprised by his run in the tournament. I am surprised with the level of which he's played. Like, I think he has the potential to beat anybody. I'm surprised that he's beaten everybody so soundly. I think is what I would say.
Me too. I'm pretty surprised by that as well. And then did the finals already happen? Did the final already happen of the singles? I can't keep track of it.
Yeah, I think it went up.
All right. What are you going to say? If you're going to lose somebody, it's good to lose to the person that wins the whole damn thing. So it's going to be.
And he has a very good line of elk jerky.
So I just wanted to take a shower just once. I'd like him to take a shower.
Elk jerky's good.
It's like, Bateman grew the beard and he said he wasn't gonna shave it until he won the title. This is Collins. He's not gonna shower until he wins the title.
Yeah, that's true.
Whatever works.
Hopefully he'll stay unshowered when he takes on my brothers. We'll see. We'll see. It'll be a tough match for sure, but it'll be fun. And look, that's how you make a name for yourself. Oyama did that. Ethan did that. That's how you make a name for yourself coming in, man. You come in, you blade. And the competition he laid waste to is pretty strong competition. So
all of those are in. Sorry, I didn't mean it. Yeah, no, everybody he beat in the tournament, like post play-in match, is in the talks for either a former champion or current champion or one of the best players to have never held a belt.
Yeah.
And he beat every single one of them. That's impressive.
Players ever.
That's impressive.
That match against Liz Shannon Miller was like, these two like unknowns basically kind of coming up. And then the semifinals, that's got to be one of the best matches, that I've seen on the Schmoedown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right on. Nothing, no slight against you, Rocha. Or
please. That's okay. I'll have my day next year.
Yeah,
and I've still got this tag team tournament to handle, so I got things to do.
Because you got management. That's what we're talking about.
See, if one comes at you from the left, the other one comes at you from the right, Rocha. They're just killer bees, Parker and Smets.
I don't know if both of these guys are even going to be on the dungeon next year. I don't know what's going to happen. That's crazy. All right, Daniel.
I mean, Smets will always be in the dungeon, whether he's on break. He could be on sabbatical.
I like it. I love the train. Thanks, Daniel. Good to see you, brother.
Have a good night,
man. Good to see you,
brother.
Enjoy that joint, brother. Enjoy that joint.
Yeah. Yes.
All right, Tushka, what do you got, son?
What's up, brother? Hey, man, I was hoping Kaiser was in the room when you read that Streamlab. But
all right, want me to read it again? All right, read it again. Just for your ego. No, just for your ego. I'll read it again. All right, Tushka said, I would gladly donate to the Kickstarter for Smasherland. So excited to write Smash Mountain, Smasher of the Caribbean. These Smasher ride names are quickly sounding like porn titles of movies directed by Kaiser. Much love to you all.
Listen, I'm not beyond porn. There's a pandemic. I'll shoot anything, basically. I mean, come on.
So will the porn actors.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I've never had to cast for that. I've never had to work in that. But look at, I mean,
you'll try anything twice, right?
I mean, my soul. I worked on the Mama June show. Like, my soul's tainted. And whatever I work on from here on in, for whatever I work on, it's I can do no wrong. So maybe we'll see. Hopefully, it won't get to that point. I kind of like Discovery Channel, but we'll see. We'll see where.
Yeah.
Those are very wide in varying genres.
Yeah, can you believe it? I've worked on the Mama June show and put astronauts into space and covered that. So it's like the spectrum is wide.
Oh,
I'll take any job. I'm a hired gun, man.
Yeah, man. You're a hustler, yeah. Well, hey, I'm sorry I missed Smets and Joaquin Phoenix, who was just on. And is that the lead singer of Story of the Year that was on earlier?
Oh, nice.
He's a character, and he was showing us he's got brownies in the oven. He was doing some baking, so
right. No, but hey, Kaiser, thank you so much for coming on here, man. It's great to.
Oh, I always like hanging with this crew. You're amongst friends in the Outlaw Nation. That's for damn sure.
Definitely, brother. Definitely. So what's your recruiting technique for 2021 in the Schmoedown? And who's your top prospect besides Rocha?
Well, I like to actually use one of my tag team partner, Bobby Gucci's technique of he just likes to lock people in closets. So I say, you lock someone in a closet, I don't fucking let you out till you join this dungeon. And I just whisper, and maybe I'll slide a cracker under the door. But I usually try to use extortion, mental torture till you join us. And,
extreme blackmail.
Extreme blackmail.
It's on brand.
It's like Nexium. You got to surrender some material that he can blackmail you with. Yeah, absolutely.
Honestly, I'm one of those guys who keeps it close to the vest. I don't like to talk about nothing till I'm like we're in season now. We're gonna worry about this season. God willing, I'll have another match. It's possible. But I mean, look, anything's possible, right, brother? I mean, there's a lot of guys I'd like to get, and We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Plus, I want to keep my dungeon intact. Parker will tell you, it's all about trying to keep the family together as much as we can. So, we'll see.
You don't want me. I'm on a 3-game losing streak. I'm not.
Oh well. I don't know. I think that we
damaged goods.
Yeah, maybe you just need some new training methods that we could we could bring you in on. Like it's like we're talking like Rocky and Russia training. You know, I'm gonna put you through the test. You're gonna be like building a woodshed in Siberia while Parker's asking you questions about fucking the secret of my success.
And Elliot Kazan. Like,
you're Rocky trying to box online. That's what you want. So I mean, if the online continues, I mean, joining the dungeon and having Parker kind of help you with the the online tactics.
Let's just say that Parker isn't done fighting yet.
Yeah,
sure, man. Well, hey, we appreciate everything all of you guys have done in 2020. You're bringing us a lot of good entertainment, and while we're stuck at home or just kind of secluded, giving us a lot of love and entertainment. And so look forward to it in 2021. And really look forward to seeing you guys in person.
Man. Someday sooner than later, it'll happen.
Absolutely.
It's coming back around again, man.
Yeah, and I'll get to see some of Parker's scarf tricks or anything else.
Absolutely.
No, you have to be female. He only brings out his best tricks for the ladies. Trust me.
That's
right. Well, that's how he gets it. He kind of ties them with the scarf and pulls them in.
Exactly. Yeah. This is part of the blackmail, of course.
These guys are dead. Yeah.
Black magic.
All right. Thanks, Tushka. Much love, brother.
Later, brother.
Oh my God, Tushka's hilarious. All right, we got 4 minutes. Malcolm, what's up, brother man from New Zealand?
Hey.
Real quick. What's up, man?
Yo, what's up, buddy?
I'm doing good. My question is who would you want to play you if they made a biopic about your life?
I want Oscar Isaac to play John Rocha.
That's pretty damn good.
That'd be good looking for once. That'd be great.
Good. I'd take Chaz Palmentieri to play Rocha.
Nice.
Young Chaz. Young Chaz. Who would play me? I guess John Belushi, but he's not around anymore. It's got to be living.
Yeah.
Person has to be living.
I mean, Seth Rogen has to play you. What the fuck are we talking about?
No, that doesn't feel right.
Okay. All right.
Danny McBride plays Kaiser.
Nice. I was gonna say Dan Fogler, so that's pretty good.
That could play too. That could play.
Yeah.
I can accept that.
Yeah. Parker
Gosling
plays you.
Does Michael Cera?
Gosling plays you.
I could see Michael Cera.
Right. Yeah. Like Jesse Eisenberg. Maybe? No, Michael Cera probably more like.
Michael Cera is probably a little bit closer. Yeah.
I mean, I would have gone the obvious Tom Holland.
Sure.
Now I'm stealing Rocha's bit. For once, I'd be handsome. Like that's. I'll take Tom Holland any day.
I like this suggestion. I'll take Javier Bardem.
Nice. That'd be
I like
good
that
too.
idea.
I could see that. The
answer is Anna and the King. The answer is.
Nice.
I can see that.
Who plays Smets?
Tom Cruise.
A severely unsteroided Hemsworth.
Oh yeah,
underroided Hemsworth.
Watered down Hemsworth.
Yeah,
I could see that.
That could work.
What about the kid from the guy from The Boys, Anthony Starr? He could play him. Anthony Starr could be Smets.
I only saw the first episode. I don't know which one is which. Should I keep going with that show? It looks pretty fun.
It's good. Yeah, hell yeah. I powered through the first few episodes. All right, Malcolm, is that it?
That's it.
All right, much love to you.
Malcolm, who do you want to play you? Let me ask you. Who do you want to play you?
Peter Jackson.
I was literally going to say the same.
Yeah, come on.
Just there it is.
I've known Malcolm for years. It's got to be Peter Jackson.
It's either Peter Jackson or Jack Black. I think those are the two
options.
Okay.
It depends on which way you're going to go with it.
I'd like the Pete Jackson.
Oh, this is good. Sebastian Stan is Smets.
Yeah, of course. There it is. That tracks. That tracks.
I like that. All right, thanks, Malcolm. Good to see you, brother, man.
Have a good
night.
See you, man.
Take it easy, man.
All right, I think we've got to wrap it here. We're at 8:30. I want to let you guys get out of here, and I appreciate you all staying with 2.5 hours. I'm sorry to the people who are waiting, but we got to get on out of here. Apologies to both of you. All right, thanks everybody for watching this episode. I can't thank Kaiser and Parker enough for taking the time and hanging out. Kaiser, especially 2.5 hours on the show. Thank you, Kaiser.
Anytime, brother. Anytime. You know that. I'm ready to roll with you, man. Bring in the Dungeon Boys. We'll come.
Yeah, I'm thanking you.
Shit with
you. Thank you both. I appreciate
love to hang out here, man.
It's awesome. Robert, where can they find you? Everything we're doing, then we'll get to Kaiser and everything he's doing, please.
I'm currently on a break from social media, but if you want to go follow my social media for when I get back, you can find me everywhere at RBRTPRKR98 and go vote.
There you go. Yes, go vote November 3rd, or vote now if you can vote early. And Kaiser, what do you got going on? Where can they find you? Everything you got going on, brother man?
I'm planning on knocking off a Marlboro truck on the 405, and I might need a wheelman, Rocha.
I'm gonna fly in for that. That's
if I could get a driver, we're gonna steal some cigarettes. You can find me right at this at Kaiser Says So. Currently, I'm on a break from reality TV, but we'll see if I get back in soon, man. And man, up until then, I'm just, we rocking the Gucci verse every Friday night at 8 p.m. You come and see me and the tag team partner. Rocha, need to get your ass in there one of these days.
I don't know. So, we'll see. Larry's got to be on his better behavior to get me back in there. That's for sure.
Oh, we can smack him around. We'll get him in line. Don't worry, John. We'll get him in line.
Some of these comments where he was cheering for me to lose, didn't appreciate it.
Yeah. Whoa! I better have a sit down.
Yeah.
John,
I've got pictures. I've got pictures.
Sit down. What are we saying to this guy? What did you say? We got to make it right. I got to make it right.
You're gonna have to go apologize. I tell you what, you're gonna have to go apologize to this Rocha fella.
Why would you say this?
You knock off a store and leave him $1,000 on his porch. That should do it.
You know what? I'm okay with that. I can be bought. I got no shame there.
Everybody's got a price.
Yeah, exactly. It's but yeah, all right. We'll follow Kaiser.
Smash-a-thon, the Smash-a-thon coming up on the 14th. That'll be a lot of fun. I'm sure we'll see a bunch of our friends and at 25 hours. I don't know, man. It just sounds a little crazy, but I know the community will pull it off. And I want to just, maybe real quick, and I want to thank everybody for everything everyone's doing for Smets. I haven't really come out and said it as much, but I've never seen people rally around a guy like this. And if you've ever met the kid and you've ever hung out with him, you kind of know why. He's one of a kind. He's special. He's a brother to me, and everything people have done to pick this kid up has blown me away. And I can't say thank you enough myself. So
yeah, definitely. Definitely. And don't forget to donate to the GoFundMe campaign for Kevin. I put the link in the description for this video. So go down there, click on that link. It's in capital letters, so you can't miss it. And click on that link and donate, which you can. Even if you can't watch on the 14th to 15th, and sometimes people have plans, donating to the GoFundMe as a way of putting some positive energy into the world for one of the best dudes on the planet, I think is an incredible thing for you to do. Look, we're all suffering. We're all struggling. It's a crazy, crazy fucking time. And now you throw this on top of it to deal with. We got to have a lot of, a lot of love and sympathy for our man, Kevin. So donate in this way. Put some joy back in his heart. Put some joy back into the world with your donation and help him out through this time, please. All right. Thanks, everybody, for watching this episode of Outlaw Nation. I'm going to let these two gentlemen go. They can roll on with their nights. Thank you, Robert Parker. And
thank you very much.
Much love to both, brother. Thank you so much. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. An awesome night with the dungeon, pretty much. And I had a really great time talking to those guys. They were a lot of fun. For anybody who's still around, just want to take about a couple of minutes to say thank you to my patrons. I want to bring over the things that I got for my birthday, kind of tell them thank you so much. Let me take a look. Give me just a second. Some of you may be watching. So my birthday was this past weekend, and some people sent in stuff, and it was really incredible to receive it from them. I want to thank, I don't know if I can say all the names here, but yeah, Amber Coates sent me 1917, just got it today in 4K. Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it. Also got the Iron Man 4K. I've been waiting to get that one in 4K, so very kind to get that one. I think that was George. No, sorry, that was Rafael Espinal. He sent that to me. Thank you, Rafael. Much love to you, my friend. Let's see, Arnan Crespo. Let's see, we got other stuff going on here. I got the complete birth of the cool. I'm a massive Miles Davis fan, so getting this, I'm so excited. And not to be outdone, I also got Round About Midnight, one of the best Miles Davis albums that you're ever going to get in mono and in the new HQ 180. Pressing, which is incredible. Also, thanks to Andrew Hale for getting me Green Room. I also received The Doors in 4K, so I'm excited to dive into that. That's going to be a lot of fun. Of course, I'm a massive Tom Cruise fan, so I got Days of Thunder in 4K from one of the patrons as well. Jake Iacovetta sent me Jaws in 4K. Very kind of Jake to send that on. Couldn't thank him more. I meant to say something to him when he came on, but I totally forgot to mention it. Thanks to Alan Smithy for Running Scared, an awesome DVD from Alan Smithy as well, or Blu-ray rather. And Andrew Hale also sent me the Daniel Craig James Bond collection. Got all of them in there, yes, including Quantum of Solace, and yes, for some people, Spectre, even though I like Spectre as well. And then, I got another Miles Davis one, Milestones, which is also one of my favorites ever. So getting these on, I've been waiting to get these on LP, so pretty awesome to get them from the fans. Thank you all so much. And then I got this one from a friend of mine who is the boyfriend of my girlfriend's sister. Got me Bitches Brew, which is of course one of the greatest Miles Davis concept albums ever. I can't wait to dive into this one and sit down. So basically, I've got myself. I'm set up for a Saturday or Sunday where I'm just sitting out in the backyard, bringing out the record player and just listening to some Miles Davis and enjoying that and watching some great movies as well. So just want to say thank you to all the patrons for their incredibly kind gifts and also for the donations. My patrons themselves of the Outlaw Nation got a kitty together for me. It was kitty as in like a kitty bag, what they might say, and surprised me with an incredible amount that I am using to elevate what we're doing here on the Outlaw Nation channel. I'm finally going to buy that Elgato switcher, so I'll be able to now start doing stuff on Twitch. So look for that to be very, very soon. Also got a new green screen so I can start playing around with backgrounds here, and also bought something else that I can't remember that I'm going to use for the Outlaw Nation channel as well. The new mic's going to get set up soon and the new camera, so the whole look of the Outlaw Nation is going to change completely. Feel like we kind of plateaued a little bit over the last 3-4 weeks, so I want to do something to, kind of elevate everything here going on in the channel. There are some changes coming, just letting you know there are probably some changes coming real soon, depending on some of the conversations I'm going to have to kind of add more content or adjust some of the content here on the channel. So I'm excited to see what we can create, we can come up with. And I'm even more doubly excited to enjoy some of these incredible gifts. And I read all your messages that you sent with those gifts. Thank you so much to everybody who sent gifts. Can't thank you enough. So, all right, that's it for me tonight. Thank you, everybody. And if you want to still send something or donate anything, as a present, the link is up there on my Twitter. It's one of my tweets that I put up. I might pin it to my profile for the next few days for anyone who still might want to send something. But don't forget to wish a happy birthday to Mike Kalinowski as well. His birthday was yesterday. Give him some love. And please don't forget, as we said earlier, to donate to Kevin Smets' GoFundMe campaign for his cancer. Really, very important. And when those Smash Cancer t-shirts come out, don't forget to get yourself one and maybe get some for the family as well. That would be fantastic for you all. Tushka said, thank you, Rocha, for letting us join in on the fun tonight. I was told that I was purchasing stock at Outlaw Nation and that it wasn't for the B-Day fund. I would like my $1 back, please. Thank you. Absolutely, Tushka. I'll take it out of the $4 or the $5 ones you just donated. All right, that's it for me. I'm out of here. Much love to all of you. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much for taking the time. Please don't forget to hit like. Don't forget here on the video, and don't forget to leave a comment. The more likes, the more comments you leave, the more this show and this channel gets elevates the visibility of it all there for people to see on YouTube. All right, I'm out of here. I will talk to you next week, trying to line up a pretty cool guest for next week, or guests for next week for the Outlaw Nation. Don't forget, we've been here for 6 months now, every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. PT. We've occasionally adjusted, but usually 6 p.m. PT every Tuesday night. Don't get it twisted. Don't let people tell you that we haven't been. We've been here every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. PT. So come back again next week, 6 p.m. PT on Tuesday night, and have some fun with us here on the Outlaw Nation. And let me end the show like I end every show. Whatever you need to do, get through the next second, next minute, next hour, next day, next week, next month, next year. I want you to do that. I really want you to do that. I love you, and I want you around. I want you part of the nation, of this nation that we're building with scratching and clawing with our hand, with our fingernails, as Pacino said, to build this outlet up to be something that people can be proud of and be a part of, a diverse outlet that is diverse in practice, not just in words. In practice, not just in words. Let that sink in. This is what this outlet is building to be. And I love that all of you are here on the ground floor as we build this thing out. Keep sharing the videos. Keep telling people to come be a part of it. Our numbers grow every day. We get new subscribers every day. So please keep sharing and liking all these videos. And for yourself, please do what you need to do to get through the tough times, because we want you here at the end of it. Just like Kevin, I want you to smash your own demons, smash your cancer, whatever your cancer is. I want you to smash it as well. So you're here and hanging out with us for many years to come. All right. Much love. We'll talk to you soon here on the Outlaw Nation Show. Take care.